Is that even if DJI is not working?
Your DJI is hooked to this board. How are you?
No, it's.
How are you getting sound right now?
Mr. Ortega? Mr.
Are you
Young?
live on this?
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah,
Bailey?
you're live, aren't you?
Yes.
Ms. House? Ms. Green? Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ortega did email, the city clerk stating that he had, work obligations and could not attend. Before we get to the pledge of allegiance, the chair and, my office has some matter of records that we want to, issue to the, city council. The first one that you're gonna receive from us is a memorandum asking council to take action on, one of the council lady, Donna Gail Wilson. In the memorandum, you'll see email exchanges with the city clerk. And these email exchanges are abusive in nature, disrespectful, and we as a city, regardless of the relationship between you and me, this should not be allowed. We cannot be being degraded toward employees.
She said it's frozen.
Speaking down to them or degrading manners. So I was wanting to see if council would be willing to take action on this tonight. Let the record reflect that council does not want to take action on this. The next memorandum that we have for a matter of record in this meeting is going to be on Justin Young. As you guys are aware, the public is wanting to know what council is really wanting to do over his racial slurs and his abusive, conduct toward, one of his girlfriends, I guess at this point. The public has reached out to my office. Is council planning to take action on this? Let it be duly noted that council is not taking action on that. The next memorandum that we have, be matter of record, will be again on Justin Young. From 2024 until 2025, over 4 invoices was received from tourism, from Earth Moving Company with Justin's name issued at the top, a total of $6,825. Now, KRS and plus our ethics ordinance says this is a violation. No city officer or city employee shall conduct business in the city limits prior to their
That's the
employment, or if they had a contract prior to their employment, or if the city official had one prior to them being elected, then it is excusable in some cases. But in this case, it's not allowed. So nearly $7,000 were obtained, and you'll see in the memorandum, we spell it out completely. It's a little lengthy. Is council planning to take action on this violation?
I think we need time to look at those details. I'm not aware of any of this.
So can we put this on the agenda for January 1st? Clerk, we're gonna put this on the agenda for January 1st, to see what council plans to take action on. This is an offense, by the way. The, next thing we have, going back to the agenda that will end our, the city's position on making, things of the record, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, we praise you for this day, we thank you for all the many blessings that you gave us. Lord, let us do everything we do in this meeting tonight to honor you and to honor the city of London and the citizens that live here. Lord, let us conduct not only the work of the city, but yours as well. In the precious name of Jesus, amen. Also, there is a sign-in sheet here for anybody at the end of this agenda. If council's gonna have to make a motion here in a minute to change the agenda that we issued, but, they're gonna allow you 2 minutes to speak, so you need to sign your name, on this sheet up here. So if you need that, just let us know.
I move to make a motion to approve the amended agenda for December 1st, 2025.
Second.
The next thing we have on the agenda is to approve the minutes.
Need a roll call?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green? Yes. Mr. Weaver?
Yes. Move to make a motion to approve the amended minutes from last week's meeting, but we do need clarification on I think the resolution numbers. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's only to add a resolution number to the resolution. That's all the amendment is. We did not add a resolution number to the, we're not changing any of the minutes and wording.
Yeah, there's three total.
We can make that change.
Just to add a resolution. Yes.
Ms. House? Yes. Ms. Green? Yes. Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Next thing on your agenda was department head reports. You have those in your packet, the clerk issues, which we issue every month. Is there any, things you want to discuss regarding those?
Are they going to give, are the department heads going to give a report?
Yeah, that's what is in your packet.
Okay. I mean, are they going to physically stand up and give a report?
Not tonight, I mean, I gave you a report in your packet.
Is it okay if they come forward, ready to discuss the departments quickly, briefly?
Maybe in the next week we can discuss that, but they gave you the report itself.
But I had some questions specifically, that I wanted to ask.
What's your questions?
Ask tonight, and I would like to ask directly, in my situation, with the fire department, to Donnie Hill.
More than welcome, you're more than welcome to ask me any question you would like.
Okay, but not Donnie, okay.
You're more than welcome to ask me any question you like.
I just wanna kind of squash some things that have, there's three items that I want to address that have kind of weighed heavy on my mind, since the last meeting. It stated that the mayor was in charge of the day-to-day business. And with that being said, I want to talk about the fire department specifically. And this day-to-day business, would you consider this day-to-day business having to obtain a new license for a new business? Is that normal day-to-day business?
It's not a new license or a new business, it's operating under the fire department.
Well, actually, it is a new license. It's the condition of new license. It's what was applied for.
Under the city.
This time last year, it was last December.
Under the city, fire department, correct, the same city fire department.
Okay. So you think that this is just normal business?
I do.
That not coming to the council for any kind of, just information, passing along
No,
information?
that's not true. The council, the prior council was aware, some of them was aware of them obtaining the CLN.
When was the request made for funding, for the budget, for any of this attorney fees, for all of this spending?
The attorney fees are in our budget.
No, I
It's in the
understand,
budget that got passed.
no, I understand that.
Okay.
My question is more toward, we were not given any specific information on most of this, and it's just, it makes no sense to me, that it's considered day-to-day business.
Correct.
And, I just want to address that, and the council, I believe, rejects that, okay?
So let me, I want to be clear because I don't
Sure.
want any misconceptions.
Sure.
You said you want to clarify here. So the council rejects the City of London Fire Department from saving lives.
No, see, that's your spin there, and that's.
No, don't say that's my
It
spin.
is.
That's what we
It's a scare
did.
tactic. It's a scare
No,
tactic.
no.
Everybody knows. It's okay. But my point being,
Wow.
is this is not day-to-day business. This, you adding this new service was in no way normal day-to-day business. Yes or no? I mean.
So we need the public to hold decorum.
Okay.
So you're wrong, Judge. You know, the funny thing about this is no one had a problem with the fire department doing these very things under a mutual aid agreement. But when the other entity could not dictate us doing lift assist and things of that nature,
You're prescribing medication.
the MOU was done away with. Then we jeopardized the lives of citizens. So this one continued battle between you guys and me of this CON doesn't make sense to most people because all we're simply doing is allowing the fire department to show up, save someone that's having a heart attack, save someone that's having a stroke. There is no intention, we've made this plain in
No,
several
I
meetings.
understand that.
Please don't interrupt me, I'll let you speak. We've had no intentions to have any impact on a private business, and none has been provided. To the point, council now is wanting to override the state that says there absolutely is a need. That's why they issued the certificate of need. But you're stating there is no need. Now, if you go back to the CON hearing, the city did not even get to present its case. We wanted, when Christy Shannon's
Well, you were
evidence,
awarded that, yes. Yeah, you're right.
based upon their evidence. So we didn't even get to our compelling evidence. We did everything, they ruled just from what they had provided. So in saying that, the judge made a ruling that this is a need and issued it to the city.
Well, I understand.
What is the debate then?
Well, there's just a couple of, the concerns are that this is very costly enterprise. This new business is very costly. I mean, how much have you spent so far on attorney fees?
Mr. Weaver?
I'm just asking,
What-
how much have you spent?
Please, let's hope to the court.
$70,000.
So what is the price tag on a human life? You spit out a number, hold on, let's be kind about this. You spit out a number, 70,000.
That was not in the budget.
So that's your grandchild, if that's your grandchild.
There's no
what-
question about that.
But no, you are questioning.
I don't want to argue with you, I just want to make a suggestion. Every council member here, including Anthony Ortega, who's away now, want nothing more than to save a life, help save a life, and do everything preventatively that we can to do so. So by your statement, and it was your statement last meeting, that the council does not care about saving lives, that was so untrue and that was very unfair.
Well, then what are you fighting here
My
tonight?
second point is.
No. Let's not, council
You
meeting.
had said also in the last meeting that Ambulance, Inc. had sued the city of London.
They did.
Oh, no, they didn't. Here's what I found out. I called, the certificate of need office in Frankfurt, spoke with Miss Bailey direct a few times.
Okay.
Ambulance Inc. objected to a new service being granted, a license in their geographical area.
Okay.
Okay, which they already had a license.
Uh-huh.
And she stated that this is normal protocol for any ambulance service incurring that kind of.
Okay.
So, my point to this is, and it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, the city actually sued Ambulance Inc. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
So let's go, now Stockman, you said that.
But do you agree that
No,
the city,
no.
you stated last week or the
that
last meeting that.
Ambulance Inc. did not sue us, so I want you to.
They did not or did?
Once we leave here, go to the Franklin County Circuit Court and see if a lawsuit was not filed in Franklin Court up in Frankfurt, because it was.
So that's where I checked.
And it got dismissed.
Okay.
We won there too. So your
I don't
information,
think it's a
Judge,
matter of winning. You got
what
more.
we're trying to understand is what you're truly trying to fight here.
Well,
You're saying there is not a price tag, but then you bring up, mind you, we would have never even had to get another attorney if Ambulance Inc. did not say, since you brought their name out here and we use their name, you're saying, you know, hey, this is your fault. Because we were fighting to save lives. Had they not bucked on this and worked with the fire department, there would have been no need for another
My
attorney.
only concern, see, your point is valid as can be. We want to save lives, let's do everything we can.
Okay.
But let's do it the right way. Communicate with your council, let's create a new business.
So, Judge, I'm gonna
a new
explain
department. Let me
this.
finish.
Go ahead.
Let's do it the right way, let's work together like you say that we should.
Okay?
And
But
there's
I'm
been no
more than willing.
communication at all.
I'm more than willing.
At all. Okay, so I'd like to go, I have a question.
Jody, would you mind if I say?
Yeah, I do.
Judge, I'm not, hold your peace, you're not the chair. I'm allowing the city attorney to speak. Hold your peace, you're out of
Attorney is not on there.
order. You are out of order. You are out of order.
He's out of order.
You're out of order. You're out of order. He is speaking.
It's 2516, it is on your agenda tonight to change the budget. And it particularly says that the appropriations is item E on the second page of your ordinance. It says it's expressly conditioned upon no delivery of basic life support or advanced life support services, with the exception of mutual aid requests. That deals directly with what you said you are not interfering with, and you're cutting it out of the budget. You're dealing with that in
We're trying
your
to,
proposal.
we're trying to do this the right way, and we're trying to create, if we have to create a new department to add to the budget, then we need to do it the right way. It shouldn't be a surprise to
So-
everyone, and there shouldn't be all this money and expense
To
put into
save
something
lives.
that we have no control over. No, it's not, it's to create a new department.
Judge,
Not
council,
save lives yet.
council is not the mayor, and this is something that we've seen in all your documents here today.
But the council-
You are not the mayor, and you guys want to be the mayor so bad, and need to run for the mayor's position.
If you
And
want to change
not,
policy so bad, you should run for council.
but you
I mean,
guys,
that's what we're doing.
but
That's
see,
what we do.
this is what your problem is. You guys, again, you get appointed in, Judge. Three of you guys, she just got here.
I got.
And then
legally mine.
she's supposed to know everything that this city's supposed to be going on. If you appointed people had ran and won, you'd probably been more up to date
I'm
with what's
asking
going
you to
on.
call order and get back onto the agenda.
We are talking about the agenda, he's talking about the certificate of need. You're out of order, the chair is speaking. I wanna ask you again, according to your own resolution, 3 strikes, you're out. You wanna be out? The chair is speaking. So, here's the thing. You guys claim you care about the citizens and you care that you guys, it should be about
That's why we're here.
communication.
That's why we're here. That's why I've
But
been
you-
serving for 20 years almost, so yes. I'll do anything to help save life. I'll do anything to work with anybody that's gonna communicate with us the right way. All I'm asking for is mutual respect in the communication. So
That's
we
what
can
these
support-
meetings are for.
How can we support a new department or a new board without any information, without a budget, without any idea? of-
There was a budget presented to
It was
council.
not a budget for an ambulance
Please,
service.
please hold decorum,
There was
guys.
not a budget for an ambulance service. That's.
We don't have an ambulance service.
Well, what do we have?
We provide an EMS and paramedic service.
Exactly. Targeted for an empty.
But we do not have ambulances, we're not transporting patients to the hospital. We are simply they gave us the powers to show up to possibly one of your family members and provide them with critical life-saving medicines or devices or any of that thing. We have some very talented people in
There's
that
no
fire
doubt about
department.
that. There's no doubt about that.
Well, then why not utilize them to save citizens?
Well, you can't put the cart before the horse, Mayor. You have to work and you have to do things the right way. And I think all I'm saying is this was done completely wrong. We had no information on this. We had no direction on this. We're asked by the
So
public.
what's so wrong
I'm
about it?
speaking. We're asked by the public every day. What is going on? Why is there so many fire trucks? Why is, we try to explain, but we don't know what we're hardly talking about. And you've not given us really much information to go on.
Judd, can I ask you a question since you brought this up? How many times have you reached out to my office to have a conversation?
I know, I can't do that.
Why can't
You
you?
made it clear. You made it clear to every department. We can't communicate with you all.
No, don't misconstrue.
Okay.
We're being open and honest, we're having a good conversation here.
Let's have that
You
conversation.
have
properly.
never reached out to my office, so you can't sit here and say, you're not telling us. Again, you got appointed, and not long after you get
You're the
appointed,
mayor. You should be leading this charge. If
we
you're
are,
a department.
and we are
But you
saving
should-
lives.
Yeah, okay.
And my department is saving lives. In fact, every one of you that is saving lives in this building.
How many lives have been saved, how many lives were lost before you started this program? Let's say 5 years ago, or a year ago, but prior to. Would you have any idea how many lives were lost?
Well,
That was not having your service.
First of all, Judge, I don't have those statistics, but I can tell you most recently, before we had the COE, and it was a Facebook post by a gentleman that claims that his father died in this city limits because it took the ambulance an hour and a half to get there and he was having mid-stroke. So, I can't give you that number, but I can tell you this, the state of Kentucky agreed there's a need in the city and they issued a license. People, since you said 20 years, you've served with a lot of these firefighters that's been serving here. Are you telling me that these men and women that say we have a need are liars?
No, you're saying That's how you spend, and that's what I was referring to as spend. This has
So-
nothing to do with saving a life. This has everything to do with creating a department, start to finish, the right way. That's all I'm saying. So you know what I am gonna do? I am gonna reach out to you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And I'm not gonna sit down and talk to you. Sure, maybe we can get somewhere and work together. I will try, I promise you. But these questions, for you to say, and you said it, that Ambulance Inc. sued the city of London.
They did.
They did not,
They did.
according to the condition of, okay.
They did.
I was there, Jody. I know what happened. They filed against. the city.
When did, we have noticed that, let's see, December of last year, the application for the condition of need was sent to Frank. And at that time, you stated you had a medical director by the name of Friedman, I think, Friedman?
Mhm.
Okay, and how much was he paid?
I'd have to look back.
Okay, and again, you know, I don't think any of us had any idea of this, I know I did not, that this was going on.
Was
Somebody
you on
was-
the council?
Somebody was hired, sure. Yeah, this has been, I think, January, February maybe, something.
Well, you
like
said
that.
December, so I was just trying.
Well, that's when you put in the
Okay.
condition of need application. So my question is, there was a Mr. Freeman,
Mhm.
okay? And then, if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing that, a new director has been hired, McClendon.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have two directors?
No, we just had one.
Okay, when was Mr. McClendon hired?
Don, do you have the exact date on that? We can get the exact date.
When was Mr. Freeman terminated? Or was
Yeah,
he-
it transitioned from one to the other.
Okay, who served in between?
There was no lapse.
Excuse me?
There was no lapse.
There was no lapse. You're sure about that?
Was that lapse in coverage?
Not to my knowledge, no. Okay. I had several questions for Donnie, I'll take them as well. Okay.
You're more than welcome to ask the mayor the questions.
It's okay, I'll ask Donnie, they can answer. I don't want to waste time.
Okay, has anybody else got anything regarding the department heads?
Mayor, on the, police department. And I don't wanna ask you the question, any question about the Doug Harkless, incident, killing. Details, I know that I'm not gonna give you details on that. But I would like to ask, since that happened, almost a year ago, this month, what policy changes have been made to assure this county and this city that something like that doesn't happen again?
And that's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. Until this is concluded by the Kentucky State Police, which you are all aware this went to the Commonwealth now, we don't know that any wrongdoing took place. I don't read social media about with the justice warriors on what did and did not happen. So I'm not aware until that comes back, anything needs to change within our DA.
So you don't think any of that was preventable?
I don't have all the facts. Do you, Mr. Baker?
No, I don't.
So what do you change without facts?
Well, okay. I think I'd be wrong for it, that there's not being any changes.
No, you didn't make a point. You made a blatant statement and then it digressed because I said, without facts, how do we make changes?
So those policy changes, we will be informed about those.
You absolutely will be informed if we need wrongdoing.
And these are questions that I've had posed to me. This is not coming from just me. This is from the citizens of Lake. They're concerned that something like that could happen again, and it shouldn't. So I'll take your answer for that.
Chairman, I would like to ask a question, I'm sorry. On the fire department, can I have a current head count, full-time, part-time, temporary?
Yeah, again, Donnie, how many full-time you guys got?
Got 17 full-time.
17 full-time.
Part-time?
We've got,
13 or 14 part-time, I have to look at it.
Okay, what about temporary, anything like that?
We don't have any
I
temporary.
didn't think so, okay, thank you.
If that concludes that, we're gonna move on to the first reading of ordinance number 2025.
Mayor, can I ask one more question? Sure. Different part.
Sure.
Public Works, of course, back in July, you appointed Jody and myself, and I think, Stacy on the committee to work with Philip Rawlins on trying to find a new location for Public Works, which the new road 25 becoming, or moving on toward 229 is taking part of that property. The very next day, which would have been July the 8th, after the July the 7th meeting, Judd and I got out with Philip and with Public Works, the current facility. Mine and Jody's recommendation was the 4th Street property, which tourism has a building over there right now, and I understand they're planning on building another one. Actually, I think they have it marked off, staked off. Of course, I ran into resistance that, there's a transmission line that runs through there, there's a sewer that runs through there, that you can't build on top of the sewer. You can't build underneath that transmission line. I think, Philip, I believe you said 100 feet on either side. We looked at that, there's 3, staying away from most areas, there's 3 usable acres that the city owns. The utilities are there, the road is in there. That is my recommendation, and I think I'll let Judd say what he wants to do about it. Move that there, which each time I talked about it, I mentioned it to you again earlier after we met, it's been a month or so ago, and it seemed like there was another reason we couldn't build over there. Each time that I bring it up, if there's a new reason that we can't build over there. There's 3 acres over there that we can work with. And at that point, I don't have any other places in mind to go. The reason I want to go over there is the city owns the property. Yeah, I know tourism is over there too, but they're not using all the property. So,
Yeah, I think, one of the greatest concerns that we have is, one, that it is tourism over there, and then again, we're boxing ourselves back in for no future growth. So, long after you, whether it's another year or 2, the city's gonna have to spend another amount of money fixing the mistakes that was made today, tomorrow, whenever we decide to do it. The city is growing. This is not 20 years ago. Being the mayor, you get to see the growth more so than probably the council does. And the city just don't operate the same. And the amount of equipment, if you go down to where we're currently located, we can't store all of our equipment there. That needs to be there. One of the things that we did when I come into office, instead of taking the mechanics outside, costing the city a lot of money, we started doing that in-house. So we need the space. And what we're afraid of, not only the lines and all the utilities that go through there and the land that's flooded, is that we're restricting ourselves again for any future growth.
my thoughts being that the road is here, that was in a 6-year plan 7 years ago. So this is not something that has, just been announced to us that we gotta move. That was 6 years ago. And now we're here in December, which I think you told me back in July that we had November to get out. Well, November was yesterday. I'm still for that building on that property. I've not seen any kind of estimate, for any kind of building, or rendition of a drawing or anything.
Is there anything available for that?
So when we create subcommittees with council, the subcommittee's job is to explore those options. It's part of your powers and things that you do. So you just named the ones on the subcommittee, so I had to ask you, which you did resign from that committee, though, correct? So it left Judd and Stacy's no longer there, so, and then the impeachment and all that stuff. So you need two more council members that can serve on that, but that's what your subcommittee would be doing. They would be locating the property, bringing back the information to council, and then make a recommendation where they wanna go. So do you have a recommendation for council today, Judd?
I recommend that we use it for the street department. But it's hard to look at anything other than what we already own, this makes sense, without having a building plan, knowing what the building costs is gonna be, and so forth. Trying, looking at it from a cost standpoint, of course, we must overextend ourselves. We do, I understand the growth, the space that will be needed in the future, I don't want to limit us, but for right now, I think it would be very adequate, and efficient to build on something that we own, so that would be my recommendation, based on not knowing, the building costs.
So does the subcommittee, is there more people that wants to serve on that subcommittee?
I don't care to, I'm glad to.
And is there another one that wants to serve? We can appoint an outside individual.
Anthony will tell you, mention it, would you mind asking him?
Well, I did after one council meeting, he said no.
Okay. We can find somebody
I don't
that
know,
will see
so,
fit.
maybe.
So there's three. We'll, note that. Again, it goes back, that's the subcommittee. If the subcommittee wants our assistance in building costs and stuff, we're more than willing to do it.
We went and looked at the, Lemon Utility Commission's, shop and their office building, off of 229, and it's a great building. Of course, Philip and I looked at it for years and admired it. I don't know if that's too much, I would just like to have some idea of construction costs.
If there's nothing else regarding that,
I've got a question still, I guess I'm directed to you since, that's how you wanna do it. Do you know how how many full-time, how many part-time employees that the Public Works has currently?
do you have that number?
I think we're around 48, 49.
And I don't think we have any part-time.
That's all part-time?
Full-time.
Full-time,
We
remember?
don't have any part-time.
Okay.
The seasonal people. we
How many Philip, I'm sorry?
I think we're around 48, 49, that's good, that's the count.
Also, how are we, doing as far as the budget? We're almost halfway through this fiscal year.
We're doing that, fantastic.
I don't know if we're on track or if we're
We are,
above or below.
actually, we are below on a lot of the salaries.
How about like other expenses like repairs, fuel, maybe stuff like that, all that still?
I know that, Philip had mentioned when we purchased the leaf blower that was probably gonna end up running them short in their budget. Do you still feel like that
We
one?
won't be short, and it just, that's not being the line item of new use, so that's just gonna take most of that out, because we didn't budget for my line new use this year. So that particular unit, we take the bulk of it, and there will still be money in there. We're good on all of
On the budget, Mayor, I think last year, or back in July, when we were passing the current budget that we're on right now, I think I had a discussion with you, and there was, and I've not seen it, it tells us where we're at month or year to date on their current budget. Did we get a copy of it
You
today?
get a budget tracker every month.
Okay, that was the word, that was.
Yeah, the budget tracker shows you guys what has been utilized,
Right.
what's left.
Right, year to date.
Correct. So if you look at, and, you know, the great thing about it is, you know, the whole budget's trending well. The city's in great financial stability, even with the tornado, so, we're very proud of our department heads and what they've done to keep us beyond just on track. Any other questions? go into the first reading, I'd like to remind everybody though, we're gonna keep the quorum as we head into these ordinances. I understand the frustrations. I understand, not feeling like you're being listened to or, what really needs to happen is being done correctly. So, but all that aside, we need to keep the quorum and let us get through these ordinances. The clerk is going to read. We just want to get through these as quick as possible.
I want to say, neither the clerk nor the mayor nor I received any of these ordinances until late afternoon today.
So, the first ordinance we're gonna get into out of the new business is the first reading of ordinance number 2025-13. This is related to the city pay plan.
An ordinance of the city of London, Kentucky, repealing ordinance number 2012-19, 2015-09, and 2022-13, and repealing the existing pay and classification plan for the city employees and non-elected officers of the city of London, Kentucky, and establishing a pay and classification plan with authorized positions, assigned grades and salaries, establishing certain personnel procedures, and whereas the City Council of the City of London, Kentucky is required by KRS 838.070 to have a pay classification plan. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of London, Kentucky as follows. This ordinance number 2012-19, 2015-19, and 2022-13 be repealed in their entirety. That the pay and classification plan attached Exhibit A, which is incorporated herein, with the job titles, grades, departments, denotions of whether the position is a non-elected officer, denotion whether the position is a salary or hourly, and the number of maximum authorized positions for each job title and grade, and attached as Exhibit B, which is also incorporated herein, with the pay for each position, which shall not be deviated from, be adopted as amended. Prior to any position corresponding with an established non-elected officer position, it shall only be paid the rate for the position once the person appointed to that position meets all qualifications for that position as required by ordinance, has been nominated by the mayor and received their approval for their appointment by the city council. All is required by KRS 838.080 and city ordinance, and has taken the oath of office for that position. That a new section of city ordinances shall be enacted on section 27.02 of the City of London Code of Ordinances. Any employee appointed to serve in acting versus permanent capacity shall be paid their pay for their normal rate and shall not be permitted to be paid the rate of an acting position. Further, in no event shall any acting position be filled for a period of more than 180 days, and no person who was appointed to an acting position shall be reappointed to any acting position. The acting period herein shall include all time that any person served in an acting role, including any time served prior to the adoption of this ordinance. That any temporary or seasonal appointment to a position shall not be paid or kept on the payroll for a period of more than 90 calendar days per year. The temporary period herein shall include all time that any individual was classified as a temporary prior to the adoption of this ordinance. That all employees and non-elected officers shall be screened with a criminal background check prior to appointment, and in the event that any employee shall have been convicted for any felony or misdemeanor crime involving dishonest disclosure to the city council and approved with the city council, shall be required to any such appointment prior to the start of employment. To exercise any powers under KRS 838.1307 to any appointments to positions within the pay and classification plan, the mayor shall delineate by executive order all persons appointed to the positions within the pay and classification plan, the rate of pay, as well as any prior experience determination that the mayor makes to implement the pay and classification plan. No person shall be appointed to any position within the city pay or classification plan who is not appointed by executive order and that complies with the requirements herein. No person shall be employed by the City of London unless the position contains within the pay and classification plan, and for the avoidance of all doubt, the mayor is not authorized to create or establish any position. The only positions of employment with or for the City of London shall be those contained within the pay and classification plan contained at Exhibits A and B hereto. No part-time positions within pay classification shall be permitted to work more than 25 hours per week. The experience brackets within the pay and classification plan shall include only full years of prior experience with either the City of London or the same substantially similar position with another government or were relevant prior to employment. General work experience or time in the workforce generally shall not satisfy that requirement. For law enforcement positions to the same or substantially equivalent positions, such experience requires prior certified law enforcement experience. For fire or rescue positions to be the same or subsequently equivalent positions, such experience requires prior service on fire or rescue squad. For any office work to be the same or substantial equivalent position, such experience requires substantial similar experiences in a professional office setting. To the extent any reduction in force or necessary by the adoption of this ordinance or any other pay or classification plan shall first be made to any temporary or seasonal employees and then based on seniority based upon time employed with the City of London, Kentucky with the newest employees reduced force. Because the City of London receives certain federal funding triggering the requirements of 5 U.S.C. 7321-7326, no employee of the city shall be a candidate for any partisan public office while employed with the city. That any ordinance in conflict with this ordinance shall be repealed to the extent of such conflict. That this ordinance shall be effective on the date of its publication or January 1st, 2025, whichever is later. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase or ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
Is there any discussion of this ordinance? Okay.
The council members that worked on this pay plan was, me and Mr. Baker and Ms. Green, and to start work on this, what we did was we requested data from 6 municipalities, from Berea, Somerset, Corbin, Hazard, Barberville, and Williamsburg. And we got a lot of data, and that data is stored on a thumb drive that was delivered to the city clerk earlier in that white envelope. So if anyone wants to do open records on that data, she has it. So we looked at, we compared city ordinances for pay and classification plans, and when we made requests to these other entities, these other cities, wherever we asked for department, the job titles within the department, salary range, and the number of positions per pay grade. So for each of these departments that we have here, like city police, fire, utilities, clerks, information tech, sanitation, street, recycling, we asked for a current budget from these cities and any document that would show the current or budgeted staffing levels. There was a lot of data to handle. So the pay plan that was developed was created based on the prevailing local market, and the plan that we put together was based mainly on incumbent or current data from salaries and number of positions from the other municipalities. And the municipality that was closest to us in both population, tax base, and the size of the city itself was Corbin. So it's very, very close to London. But we did look at Berea, which has to compete with Richmond and Lexington for employees, and that we did not get anything from Williamsburg as of today. So when we looked at the pay plan that was adopted in 2022, which was the last one that was developed for the city, we decided that we dropped the lowest grade on that pay plan because we just didn't feel like that was a salary that was substantial enough to meet, for our valuable employees. But because we do, as council members, we do value the backbones of the city. The force that we have is the sanitation and street department. So we dropped that lowest grade, and then we went through each one of the grades. As you'll see, she can read the numbers. I think it's Exhibit A. And so we took those, each individual with years of experience for those 3 grades, and we added 1.5% raise for each one of those and multiplied it and bumped that pay up for those. Yes. Yes. So there is an overall increase for that range, for that pay range. And then if you look at Exhibit B, we we took those grades that we had left, which was 13 grades, and, we broke it down into years of experience. And you can see that the lowest grade now with no experience whatsoever, if they're hired for the city, the increased salary that they have now is $15 if they start at $15 an hour. And it proceeds through that, and the clerk can read the pay plan and years of experience, exhibit B, exhibit A and B, please.
If you're okay with it, I'll read it as it is and then do use of service, so maybe that'll make more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a recycle attendant for sanitation, maximum number of positions is 10, that grade is a 1. 0 to 3 years is $15, 4 to 9 is $15.68. 10 to 14 years is $16.36. 15 to 19 years is $17.03. 20 to 24 is $17.71. 25 plus years is $18.39. A laborer for street department is a maximum of 10 positions, and that's also a grade 1. 0 to 3 is 15, 4 to 9 is $15.68. 10 to 14 years is $16.36. 15 to 19 is $17.03. 20 to 24 years of experience is $17.71. 25 plus years is $18.39. So we have reception, that's a grade 1 street. Maximum of 1 person for that. Again, it's the same as follows. Do we read that every single time if it's within the same grade?
No,
Okay.
I just moved to the next.
So that was the next grade. The next one is 2, and that is for the secretary or admin assistant for the police department. There's a maximum of 1 for that, and that's a grade 2. Grade 2, 0 to 3 is $15.59. 4 years to 9 is $16.35. 10 to 14 is $17.12. 15 to 19 years is $17.88. 2024 is $18.65. A 25 plus year of experience is $19.41. The next grade is a 3. 3 includes, so it try to make sense for everyone, a sanitation driver, crew leader, and sweeper truck driver, all with street department. And that is a 3, so it starts 0 to 3 years is $16.26. 4 to 9 years is $17.18. 10 to 14 years is $18.10. 15 to 19 is $19.02. 20 to 24 years is $19.94. 25 plus years is $20.86. A grade 4 is a license clerk with 1 authorized person, and then city maintenance with street. There's 3 available for that one, and that's for 4. 0 to 3 years is $17.79. 4 to 9 is $19.03. 10 to 14 is $20.28. 15 to 19 is $21.52. 20 to 24 years of experience is $22.17. 25 plus years is $24.02. Next grade is 5. That is for sanitation. Looks like it's a CDL transfer driver and captain for rescue. There's 1 available positions for both those. The 5 is for 0 to 3 years it's $19.17. 4 to 9 years is $20.70. 10 to 14 is $22.23. 15 to 19 is $23.76. 20 to 24 years is $25.30. 25 plus years is $26.83. There's 1, a grade 6, and that's a firefighter with 9 positions. 0 to 3 years is $15.60. 4 to 9 years is $16.85. 10 to 14 is $18.10. 15 to 19 years is $19.35. 20 to 24 is $20.60. 25 plus years is $21.85. The next one is 7, grade 7, and that is for a welder, ABC license with the police department, a patrol with police, a detective with police, code enforcement officer, rescue, and office manager, safety coordinator. That is a level 7. 0 to 3 years is $23.14. 4 to 9 is $25.22. 10 to 14 is $27.30. 15 to 19 is $29.38. 20 to 24 years is $31.45. 25 plus years is $33.53. The next one is a 7FD for fire department. That's for a fire lieutenant. They're able to have 3 of those. 0 to 3 years is $17.13. 4 to 9 is $18.66. 10 to 14 is $20.20. 15 to 19 is $21.74. 20 to 24 years experience is $23.28. 25 plus is $24.82. We have 1 grade level 8, that's for 1 corporal, that is $24.52. 4 to 9 years is $26.72. 10 to 14 years is $28.93. 15 to 19 is $31.13. 20 to 24 years is $33.34. 25 plus years is $35.55. Grade 9 is the HR administrator. Starts off at $25.90. Then 4 to 9 years is $28.23. 10 to 14 years is $30.56. 15 to 19 years is $32.89. 20 to 24 years is $35.22. 25 plus years is $37.56. Grade 10 is for a police lieutenant. There's 3 available positions for that one. 10 starts off with 0 to 3 years is $27.86. 4 to 9 years is $30.37. 10 to 14 years is $32.87. 15 to 19 is $35.38. 20 to 24 years is $37.89. 25 plus years is $40.39. The positions at grade 11 is the assistant chief for fire, the accounts clerk, operations sanitation recycle, public works manager for the street, and building inspector. But it does have a line extend, I think, some calls for person. So at 11, they start off at $60,715. This is a salary position. And then 4 to 9 years is $66,786. 10 to 14 years is $72,857. 15 to 19 is $78,928. 20 to 24 is $84,999. 25 plus years is $91,070. Sorry. Grades 12 is a major, city clerk, and public works director. 0 to 3 years is $65,260. 4 to 9 years is $71,791. 10 to 14 years is $78,322. 15 to 19 years is $84,853. 20 to 24 years is $91,384. 25 plus years is $97,915. Grades 13 is the fire chief and the police chief. 13 is 0 to 3 years, $69,806. For 4 to 9 years, it's $76,787. 10 to 14 years is $83,764. 15 to 19 years is $90,749. 20 to 24 years experience is $97,730. 25 plus years experience is $104,711.
Thank you. We noticed that in the numbers, you guys, like, I guess we'll address Donna. You said that the recycle attendants and the laborers on the street are the backbone of the city. So if I work here for 25 plus years, I get a $3 raise.
I'll make a motion to accept the ordinance.
The chair is not recognizing this. The chair, we have concerns in council. This is what these meetings are about. It's not being berated in nature. It's all What information so when I call Corbin tomorrow, I'm gonna ask them, do you have one clerk in there taking,
You have all the data in that, in this.
so Corbin's gonna tell me they have one clerk working in the mayor's office?
You have the
Diana,
data.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Like, the money you have it, we put it in that department.
You're out of order, please.
That's what we outdated.
Let's try to keep the quorum, let us get through this. I understand the frustration.
If you take somebody at a grade one, and if 25 years later, they're still at a grade one, they've not really progressed much to climb.
How do they climb the ladder?
Well,
You-
I think,
you don't allow
I
it.
think typically, that grade one is gonna eventually be a grade two, and so on and so forth. I think by moving up the ladder, that can happen in time.
That's not provided for.
But there is no ladder in your new pay scale.
Well, typically.
Typically,
Is what I'm saying.
if you went off KLC's recommendation, yes. But in this pay scale, we hire a recycle attendant in, they have to wait for the crew leader, or in this case, not even a crew leader, they have to wait, and my apologies, we just received this not long ago. They have to wait for the operations manager of sanitation recycling to retire to get a promotion. For instance, we have a guy that's worked in the city for 29 years, and he's making $30 an hour. He's fixing to retire. So you're saying that guy should be making, let's say, $20 an hour?
No, he was a supervisor, so he was not a.
No, this is a driver. This is a driver.
Well, currently, he's a driver, but he wasn't, correct?
He's been a driver since I've been here, so.
Okay.
But let's take that scenario. The
I think you
background.
may have, there's a little confusion. Let me just say this so we can move on.
Yeah.
This is something maybe you and I can talk about tomorrow. Or when I would like to do that, I'd like the clarification.
So, but, yeah, and that's fine, but, and I don't care to talk to you about this in your meeting, but I think for everybody that's here, the statement was made that Corbin, we were compared to Corbin and Berea.
No, I said we are close in numbers to Corbin. We did
Size,
We did get data from Berea, but Berea has a different, set of what, because they're competing with Richmond
Okay.
and Lexington.
Okay.
And so we took the numbers from the old pay plan that was approved, the last one was in 2022. And so that's what we based this on, and we bumped each one of these grades and years of experience up. You'll see the other one had 3 years of experience or levels or whatever. This is broken down to years of experience with these grades, and we did away with the lowest grade of pay on that old pay plan. We completely eliminated that pay.
And I understand that.
Okay, and then we took those numbers that were in each column, and we multiplied it by 1.5% raise. Kelly can explain that what it meant for a cost of living raise. And we add those numbers in and raise those numbers. The pay has been raised.
I know, but what I'm saying is, so here's what I just need clarity, because we're the ones gonna have to implement this. The guy comes in and gets hired with us, works 3 years before he can get his first raise, what takes him to 4 years. The 4th year, I can give him a 68-cent raise.
Can I just?
Yes.
The beginning cost, usually.
Not according to this
cost of
ordinance,
living.
not according to this ordinance. You've eliminated that. I just wanna make that clear, that's what everybody here needs to be clear, especially the people that work in the city. You're saying that we can get by with 10. Has any of you guys reached out to our department heads or me to find out what it takes to run this city?
Pay plans are supposed to be, and best practices are supposed to be reevaluated and looked at every year with the budget. So cost of living raises and all this would be reevaluated with the budget every single year.
So we're gonna change this ordinance every year?
It's supposed to be with the budget.
This
ordinance, this pay plan ordinance, and the budget ordinance is supposed to be reviewed and updated and upgraded, whatever you wanna do, every single year.
It's about like the school system in May, Mayor. They decide every year whether they're giving a raise or not, and they do that in May. So they have to look at those documents and review and decide whether they're going to give a raise or not give a raise, and then they change that accordingly, their paperwork accordingly. And that's what we would have to do. We would have to, every budget year, we would have to decide whether we was given a cost of living raise. And if we'd done that, then that would also change the ordinance.
Well, we've changed the ordinance.
Not so much, yeah.
But it would allow for the cost of living raise each year, Mayor, on those grades.
All of the other ordinances that we have cost of living language within the ordinance. This does not.
I'll second that motion.
From the statements that were made previously, you did not know.
Hold the quorum.
You did not know the number of people employed at the fire department. And
We
you
have a
did
motion.
not know the number of people employed at the street and sanitation department. You don't know the number of people employed at the police department.
We do.
So do you know the number of people who will lose
Mr.
their
Rice,
jobs?
with all due respect, you're out of order.
No, you are out of order. I have given him permission. Judge, hold decorum. You're out of order. No, he is the city attorney and he's allowed to speak. He is the city attorney and you're out of order. You are out of order, Mr. Weaver. That is strike number 2. You are out of order.
Do you know how many people, do you know, council,
Let's hold decorum.
do you know how many people will lose their jobs by this? Do you know how many people will lose income because of this in any of these departments? There is no financial reason to do this. There's nothing. There's no financial reason. So it is based on, the only conclusion I can come to is it is retaliation.
So, the concern here is, you said that you're gonna spend a lot of time, and let me first say, we appreciate you doing your due diligence, but the most concerning part about this is, 2 of these council members sitting on this, here today, matter of fact, passed the 2022 with the significant increase in salaries, across the board. This ordinance that you're passing, please let me finish, Judge, is you never calculated by contacting anybody within the city limits of London, and by omission, you did not talk to Corbin. You're saying that we can run City Hall with 1 clerk. See, you're not affecting the mayor. You're affecting the people that work in the city, and you're affecting the citizens that's going to come up to City Hall to pay their taxes and not getting the adequate care that they need, or the amount of, from even you guys, the information that you need, or your open records request. You are impacting all these things because you didn't do your due diligence to say, Philip, how many exact recycling attendants do we need? How many laborer people do we really need in the street department? How many people do we really need at the PD? And did you calculate the number of calls that they get versus what they actually have? Your numbers currently will take them back to 2012 numbers. Now, mind you, how is the city that is constantly growing going to operate like it was 2010?
There's some argument on the growth. I mean, this last census, we went down.
During COVID. And I can debate you on that because LUC can pull, we have over 4,800 homes hooked to our system. You're telling me 1.2 people live per home?
Here's my concern, is the pay scale you did, we did update it in 22. I think that was very fair. But the problem is when you took office, you put a lot of employees at the very top without, you suspended the pay scale, which is not legal.
Right.
No, I didn't suspend
The
it.
council, on your recommendation, they
Well,
suspended.
council took action.
They did, but you cannot suspend the pay scale.
Well, Kelly, you were here, Justin, you were here. Did you do wrong?
You're the mayor, we're all.
I mean, did Larry Ray do wrong in being the city attorney? I mean, that is a job.
Let's hope decorum. Accusation's been made. We want clarification. You're saying wrongdoing was done. Two of these people were sitting here at that time.
Well, but my point is, that you have to follow a pay plan, and you can't say that you did.
We absolutely followed the
No,
paper.
you didn't.
No, you
What
didn't.
you did was you paid people at the top level.
Yeah.
And it's, listen, we've done the research, it's right in black and white.
You brought
I mean, I'm
them
sorry.
in at a very high rate of pay people, and,
I mean, for
we
a.
cannot sustain that when you bring in people at the highest rate of pay.
Good,
we
glad you
cannot-
brought that up.
We cannot sustain that, and especially in where we are
Where are
right
we
now in
suffering?
London. I mean, we
Where-
are looking,
where-
staring down the barrel of about, as we know it right now, 7 lawsuits.
Oh, we are. Let's hold decorum. So, let me get this straight. You are passing this ordinance, and we're gonna put this on the record, because of possible lawsuits, or lawsuits that, so you are predetermined that every one of them lawsuits are gonna win, and it's gonna bankrupt the city.
That's not what I said.
It's in your ordinance. The reason for this change is because of litigation.
Well, the litigation is prevalent, am I correct?
Mayor,
It's not prevalent.
Oh, it's
And
not.
you,
So
so we are affecting lives based upon what ifs?
Oh, man, listen, it's obvious that we have many lawsuits, and of which your name personally and Larry.
You're right, I am.
And your
You're right, I am, and she's riding around with them. Did you not see the video? Hold the forum. And on top of that, you hired one of the ladies that is systematically trying to destroy the city, which is impacting everybody in this city. So, let's make this a matter of record here tonight. Council is basically saying what I have already had the suspicions of, you are part of, and it's very plain from the video that come out here today on you, that you guys are partaking in possibly insurance fraud with KLC. How do you put in an ordinance that you are going to gut a city and hurt the residents and the families at about before Christmas based upon litigation you're not even sure that's going to be won, Judge?
Mayor, you set them up to fail by paying them at the highest level.
Judge, you are wrong and making false statements when you say, who? Name a name, Kelly. Name a name right now, since you have the facts. Who did I do that to?
Over 100,000.
Sherry Jones, 28 years in this city, and deserves every dime. You don't like her, they don't like her, so you guys are basically saying Sherry's not worth that money. Let me tell you something. Sherry deserves every dime. If I could have paid her $400,000 a year, I'd have gave it to her. She was a dime.
Could you explain what you mean that I don't like her when my father hired her?
Kelly, we're not here to talk about your father, who many people respect and honor and so do I. We're not going to talk about you, but we're going to talk about your actions, that you guys have all this beautiful information, that we've not seen any of this, and then you're telling me that Corbin, Kentucky has one clerk and then basically 20 people working in their city limits. I'm going to find out and get the documents, and I'm bringing it at the next council meeting. I guarantee you that's not true.
Mayor, can I say something? This scale, the budget is obviously gonna have to fluctuate and change some of it. But here's the reason that we are where we are at this moment. We have open records and requested a lot of information, a lot of it we didn't get. A lot of it was very unclear.
Wait a minute.
All I'm saying
We
is.
fulfill every open records request by law, we have to, and if we didn't, you appeal it, and the Attorney General is going to enforce that.
But effort was made to let us know that this is what we had. And I can give examples, I don't want to waste our time. But I'm saying, where we are right now, we did not have that with information. And another thing, you go back and you said, did I call Philip Rollins? You made it very clear to us, to the council, that we are not to communicate with the departments or the department heads, and they are not to communicate with us. Did you or did you not? Yes or no?
Yes, I did, Judge.
Okay,
But now let me ask you a question. Did you get in a truck with Philip Rollins and ride
Yes.
around one day?
I did.
So when you guys want to be sensible adults, I allow contact. But what I will not allow is the beratement and the abusive behavior to the staff who does not deserve it. Or for you guys to get up here and try to get your aha moments. If you want to get an aha moment, get it on me and leave innocent people out of this. So let's talk about the finances.
This is about our city, that's what we're doing.
No, but Judge,
We're doing the right thing for the taxpayers, and that's.
here's the taxpayers. So I'm going to take your motion. Let's hope decorum. But first, 28 years of experience. To whom it may concern, please be advised. I am making this statement as of December the 1st, 2025, in my professional opinion as the Finance Director, that the City of London is in sound financial position. Our current cash in the bank is well exceeding any accounts payable that we have on the books at this time. We currently have 3 loans, and we have more than enough to make those payments. We have received funds from, we have received some receivable funds from FEMA that will be paid out shortly at some point in the future. But we are more than able to make all distributions without any issue. Mind you, we went through a tornado helping our neighbors. We're projected at 1.1 million, and we are not impacted. We are doing great. The budget is doing great. I'm currently in the process of 2 audits, and I have not received anything so far that would make me believe we are anything but stable. Our income since July 1st, 2025 has recovered every expense incurred since that time, even though our taxes and our business license have not been received, and that would also not include any balance carried forward. As always, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or Dylan Bishop if you have any specific questions. This is coming from her, the financial director. We are not in financial dire. There is no need to cut positions, cut pay. There is none whatsoever. We have insurance for lawsuits. You guys know this because that's the first thing your mayor did when she took office. That's the only thing you guys did, was wanted to know about the insurance policies. Nothing else was done. Insurance policies and how much was it going to be paid. That's what was done while I was out of office. This is not necessary. Now, the finance director of 28 years of this city has just told you there is no financial disaster in this city, period. So again, council is doing this based upon your friend's litigation. Duly noted, let it reflect in the record. Need a motion to approve the first reading. Second. Roll call.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House? Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to make a letter from myself and the finance director, a matter of record attached to this first reading, because I do not want the public to see your city is doing well financially. The next thing we need to get through is the economic development proposal, first reading of ordinance 2025. I'm going to skip down so we can get Paula Thompson and them out of here. This is a MAP amendment, so it would be 2020-25 or 17.
This is an ordinance rezoning property owned by Chestnut Place LLC.
Do you have something you want to say first, Paula? Okay.
It's an ordinance rezoning property owned by Chestnut Place LLC at Kentucky Route 206 and Kentucky Route 363 in Kentucky from R2 to C2. Whereas the public hearings were conducted by the London Laurel County Zoning and Planning Commission on August 21st, 2025 and October 23rd, 2025 concerning the rezoning of property owned by the following. And whereas Chestnut Place LLC is located at Kentucky Route 1006 and at Kentucky Route 363, London, Kentucky, with a legal description of the property contained in Exhibit A, hereto, the property is currently zoned R2, multifamily residential, and the owner has requested that the property be rezoned to all be zoned C2 general business, and whereas the following public hearings, as required by law, the London Laurel County Zoning and Planning Commission made findings pursuant to KRS 100.213, ruling that the existing zoning classification given to the properties are inappropriate because the proposed zoning classifications is appropriate and that the requested change is anticipated in the adopted comprehensive plan, and has made a recommendation of approval for this requested zone change, and that the zoning map be amended to reflect these changes, the findings. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of London, Kentucky as follows, that the City Council reincorporates the findings of London Laurel County Zoning and Planning Commission as to this map amendment, and that the existing zoning classifications given to the property are inappropriate because the proposed zoning classification is appropriate, and that the requested change is anticipated in the adopted comprehensive plan, and has made a recommendation of approval of this requested zone change, and that the zoning map be amended to reflect these changes. That the property Chestnut Place LLC located at Kentucky Route 1006 and at Kentucky Route 363, London, Kentucky, be rezoned from R2 to be zoned C2, and that the zoning map reflect these zone changes, and that this ordinance shall be effective on the date of its publication. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is found unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such information shall affect the validity of the reading ordinance.
Make a motion to accept the first reading.
Second.
See roll call?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green? Yes. Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda would be, the first reading of 2025-14.
This is an ordinance of the City of London, Kentucky, amending sections 21.001 and deleting the sections 21.200, 21.201, 21.202, 21.203, and 21.204 of the City of London, Kentucky Code of Ordinances, and creating new sections within Chapter 21 of the City of London, Kentucky Code of Ordinances, reflecting the non-elected officers and repealing Ordinance 2023-02 and setting forth the terms of engagement with the city attorney. Whereas the City Council of the City of London, Kentucky is required by KRS 838.080 to establish the non-elected officers and duties and responsibilities, and believes adjustments are necessary to those provisions. And whereas the city ordinances already set forth duties and responsibilities for the chief of police in ordinance 21.300, the fire chief in ordinance 22.107, and the city clerk's duties were set forth in ordinance 2023-20, which the council finds do not require adjustment. Now therefore, it be ordained by the City of London, Kentucky as follows. Section 21.
Council, is it okay if we just read the changes to this ordinance?
I prefer the whole course.
Okay.
Section 1, Section 21.001 of the City of London Code of Ordinances is amended to read as follows. They are hereby established the following non-elected offices of the city: city clerk, chief of police, fire chief, public works director, and building inspector. Each non-elected officer of the city shall take the Kentucky Commonwealth Oath of Office. Each non-elected officer of the city shall be appointed by the mayor with the approval of city council, as required by KRS 838.0803. Each non-elected officer shall hold their office for a term of 2 years and may be reappointed thereafter. Sections 21.200, 21.201, 21.202, 21.203, and 21.204 of the City of London, Kentucky Codes of Ordinances as codified and repealed by the city. There's hereby enacted a new section of the City of London Code of Ordinances 21.401 to read in full as follows. The duties of the Public Works Director shall supervise the street and sanitation departments and to direct the method, times, and manners of their performance of duties. The Public Works Director shall be answerable to the mayor and to the city council for the conduct of all members of the street and sanitation departments, and shall hold responsible to the mayor and council for the efficient and proper management of the street sanitation department. The Public Works Director shall have responsibility for ensuring competitive bidding to the lowest and best bidder on all public works streets or other construction projects, and for supervision of any public works contractors to ensure any work is done consistent with good engineering practices and bid specifications. Public Works Director shall assist the mayor and city council with formulation of the budget for the street and sanitation departments. The Public Works Director shall also be responsible for reporting to the city council monthly as to the performance of the street and sanitation departments, for the recommending each budget cycle appropriate street projects for repaving. The Public Works Director shall be responsible for obtaining and managing grants, including the municipal road aid funds for the city. The Public Works Director shall perform other duties as lawfully assigned by the mayor, consistent with the role of Public Works Director. The Public Works Director's compensation shall be salary to be determined in the city's pay and classification plan. There is hereby enacted a new section of the City of London, Kentucky Code of Ordinance 21.601 to read in full as follows. The duties of the building inspector are to enforce Kentucky and City of London building and zoning codes, to include the Uniform State Building Code, the Uniform State Residential Code, and the International Property Maintenance Code. The building inspector shall serve as the code official and inspector for the duties and responsibilities set forth in Chapter 72 of the Code of City Ordinances, and perform such other duties as are set forth in other sections of the City of London Code of Ordinances. The building inspector shall also supervise the building departments and code enforcement officers, and shall assist the mayor and city council with formulation of the budget for the building department. The building inspector shall also be responsible for reporting to the city council monthly as to the performance of the building and code enforcement departments. The building inspector's compensation shall be salary to be determined in the city's pay and classification plan. Ordinance 2023-02 is hereby repealed in its entirety. There is hereby enacted a new section of the City of London Code of Ordinance read as follows. The city attorney shall be retained by the mayor with the approval of city council through an engagement agreement that is approved by the mayor and city council. For a term of such agreement that shall be for the term of the fiscal year in question. No funds appropriated to the city attorney shall be utilized or spent absent such an approved engagement agreement. In no event shall any such compensation exceed appropriations for the fiscal year. That any ordinance in conflict with this ordinance be repealed to the extent of such conflict. That this ordinance shall be effective on the date of its publication, and if any section, sentence, or clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such informality shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
I move to accept the first reading.
Could I ask a question?
Would you refer to the mayor of the place and give us?
On the offices of the city, you will entertain it.
Mr. Bryson, you're out of order.
The chair has recognized him, Mr. Weaver. Your personal vendettas need to be put aside in this meeting.
City attorney as a non-elected office. Why did you do that?
Donna, and keeping with the state statute, no private conversations are allowed during this meeting. You have to say it loud enough the public can hear it.
Yeah,
Somebody's motion.
The part of this says that on those that you have named as non-elected offices, which does not include the city attorney. You said that the city clerk, the chief of police, the fire chief, the public works director, and the building inspector will only hold their office for 2 years. Now,
You guys have got to talk to us. We have to implement
This
this.
is a legal debate to me, and
It's a legal debate. You put it in your ordinance. It does work to deal with
it's
it.
a local ordinance. Our attorney, Chris Weiss, and I would ask you to contact him. It's not a legal debate.
well, you're actually on this ordinance, Jody. Do you not know the reason for it?
Oh, I will. I'm not going to incriminate myself on this council.
No,
This is not a legal debate, Larry.
it's not a legal debate. We're needing an understanding of your ordinance that you are passing.
Excuse me? We need,
An understanding of the ordinance you are passing.
for a better understanding, we can get that from our attorney, Chris Weeks.
Is Chris Weiss gonna start attending our meetings?
We don't have to attend our meetings. You know, most attorneys and city council meetings, they don't even accept, they don't even attend the meetings. Yes, you don't, no, they don't. I disagree. I disagree.
I haven't.
I watch a lot. I watch a lot of city council meetings all the
You ain't
time. There's nothing like this. I can promise you. I know.
Well, let's hold decorum, please.
Oh, why did you eliminate the city attorney?
I'm asking the chair, there's a motion on the floor.
Can you not answer the question, though? It's a legitimate
Chris,
question.
our attorney came.
So,
So I did answer your question.
we'll just make it a matter of record.
He's not voting, you are.
There's a motion on the floor. I'm asking-
Donna, hold decorum. So the council, so we're understanding this, right? Chris Weiss is right, wrote this ordinance. You guys have no understanding of it,
Oh, we
but we're
understand.
passing it.
No, we understand.
So then explain it to the public. This is what this meeting's for. You're passing an ordinance, explain why the attorney was removed out of this portion.
And our attorney can explain.
This is not a trial, Judge. This is, so you're not incriminating
And it's not a
yourself.
legal meeting either. It's not a legal.
Well, this is a legal document, so it is a legal meeting.
And this is a city council meeting, that's city business.
Correct.
And we presented it, we read it, we got a motion on the floor
Where's that?
to approve.
And where's the?
And
Why? You're doing
You have the power of veto, so let's proceed, please.
it, but you're overriding. Explain it.
Maybe not.
so, again, the public nor the mayor's office is allowed to have clarification of any of these ordinances here tonight.
You can have all the clarification that you want.
So is Chris Weiss gonna come before the public to give the
No,
clarification?
I mean, why should we have Chris Weeks here wasting?
Because everybody that's sitting here has a right to know.
That's the third time. I mean,
Let's hold decorum, please. Let's hold decorum.
why Chris Weeks is not present because we're not spending our money unnecessarily.
Judge, you've never spent your money for any of this. So, there's a motion on the floor, need a second.
We had a second.
Why, who do you expect to become chief of police for 2 years? Who do you expect to become fire chief for 2 years? Or city clerk for 2 years? Neon tape, you can't drive for 2 years. Nobody would do this.
What is this? Did you get a second?
Mr. Baker?
Do your roll call.
Are you doing the
Ms.
roll call?
House?
That is
Yes.
correct. You call mine?
Yes. Ms. House? Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
And you don't know why you're voting.
Let's hold decorum. You know, council, you talked about litigation, so I want to make you aware of something here. There was a hostile work environment that was filed during my impeachment. 48 individuals, almost half of the city, said that you and your mayor caused a hostile work environment. We have 2 ordinances now, so far, that is blatant retaliation against these whistleblowers. You are fixing to have 48 more lawsuits.
That's not true.
That's just very true.
It's true.
Yes, it is. Judge, you are putting the city
It's
at.
spending. It's not.
No, not
Yeah,
spinning.
you are.
There is 48 individuals who made a claim against you and Tracy Hanley. And you've now created
Against me?
Yes.
council. You're a part of the council. And now you are implementing 2 ordinances that says, we're gonna get you for what you did. So the roll call's been done, we're moving on to the next ordinance. Transparency,
It's not relevant.
let's hold decorum.
Very relevant.
The next ordinance is 2025-15, and it's talking about transparency. If council, if the clerk would read, please.
An ordinance creating transparency, accountability, and procurement requirements within the city of London, Kentucky, be it ordained by the city of London, Kentucky as follows. A new section of the city of London, hereinafter referred to as city code ordinances, shall be enacted to read as follows. The city's website shall have created a new section created and maintained to be styled Transparency Initiative. Within the Transparency Initiative portions of the city's website, the following materials shall be maintained. The general ledger for the city of London, Kentucky for the current and previous fiscal year, which shall reflect all expenditures for the city, shall be posted on the city's website and updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. Copies of all contracts that are presently enforced or that have been enforced for the preceding 6 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. All ordinances that have been enacted for the preceding 24 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. Further, the ordinances posted herein will be original text as approved and published and not summaries of any ordinances. All municipal orders that have been enacted for the preceding 24 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. All resolutions that have been enacted for the preceding 24 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. All executive orders that have been enacted for the preceding 24 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. All minutes of the city council or any board or commissions under the authority of the city for the preceding 24 months shall be scanned and posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. A listing of all employees of the city, along with their job titles, current rates of pay, and any adjustments to rates of pay within the previous 24 months shall be posted and shall be updated on or before the 5th business day of each calendar month. The quarterly financial reports provided to the council pursuant to KRS 91A shall at minimum include the current budget with a column added to show fiscal year-to-date expenditures and revenue generated for appropriation. A copy of all executive orders or other documents reflecting any adjustment in employee pay shall be transmitted to the city council by electronic mail within 3 business days of the occurrence. A new section of city's code of ordinances shall be enacted to read as follows: to ensure accountability and public trust, as well as to protect the law enforcement officers from false accusations. All law enforcement officers in the City of London Police Department shall be equipped with body-worn cameras, which shall be worn and activated at all times when on duty, including any paid details. And at no time shall such body cameras be turned off unless required by law. Any such body camera footage shall be retained for a minimum of 30 calendar days. In the event of any felony or misdemeanor arrest or charge, such footage retained to that arrest shall be maintained while uncharged, while any charges are pending for at least 90 calendar days thereafter. For any charge violation, including traffic violations, such footage related to the violation shall be maintained while any charges are pending for at least 60 calendar days thereafter. An active investigation into any crime or other matter, such footage related to the investigation shall be maintained during the period of investigation and for at least 60 calendar days thereafter. Any complaint, internal or external, regarding the behavior of any member of the police department, such footage related to the complaint shall be maintained during the pendency of such complaint and for a period of at least 90 days thereafter. Any known investigation involving any member of the City of London Police Department, including any investigation performed by any federal or state law enforcement agency, the county attorney or Commonwealth's attorney, such footage related to that matter under investigation shall be maintained during the pendency of each investigation and for a period of at least 180 days thereafter. Any litigation, threatened litigation, or preservation request related to litigation from any attorney, footage related to the matter that is subject of the litigation shall be maintained until the matter of conclusion of the litigation, or the period of time that any statute of limitations related to the litigation has run, and then for at least 60 days thereafter. and upon the request of the mayor or the city council, footage of any incident relating to the request shall be retained until the request is rescinded. Nothing in this section shall prevent any longer period of retention, such footage deemed appropriate by the London Police Department. Notwithstanding any other provisions of law, unless the release of body worn camera footage would admit an active investigation into a crime or an active prosecution, all such footage shall be subject to release upon receipt of the request, therefore subject only to payment of the actual out-of-pocket costs for postage, flash drives, or CD materials. In the event that the release would impair an active investigation into a crime or active prosecution, the requester shall be informed of that fact and informed within 10 days of when the investigation or prosecution has ended. A new section of the City Code of Ordinances shall be enacted to read as follows. The following types of purchase, contracts, or agreements shall require City Council approval prior to execution or purchase. Contracts involving an amount over $2,500. Purchases involving goods or services exceeding a purchase price of $2,500. Loans or grants of city funds, including but not limited to economic development incentives and city incentives. Leases, easements, debts, mortgage, redevelopment license, or other grants of interest in city-owned real property. Receipts of federal or state or monthly grants and contracts requiring an in-kind match of city services or staff time, and intergovernmental agreements and appointments to boards, commissions, or the same. No goods or services exceeding the value of $25,000 shall be procured without solicitation of at least 3 competitive bids for such goods, which for goods or services exceeding a value of $50,000 shall be sealed bids. In the event there are limited vendors of such goods, a written determination regarding the fact shall be provided to the City Council of that fact for its consideration and approval to waive the 3 bid requirement herein. City Council meetings transparency. A new section of the City of Codes of Ordinances shall be enacted to read as follows. All meetings conducted by City Council shall be live streamed on the city website to include the following. The videographer shall ensure that camera view allows remote participants to see the entirety of the room, to include the mayor, city council, audience, and public comment, time clock, and podium at regular meetings. The volume of all audio will be set at the same level. All microphones will project the same level of volume. The city shall procure a competent vendor to ensure that there is minimal disruption in the live stream. This ordinance shall be effective January 1st, 2026, or upon publication, whichever occurs latter. Further, any ordinance conflict with this ordinance is repealed by the extent of such conflict. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such informality shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
The chair just has a few comments. One, there is no general ledger. You would need the ledger analysis, which we could do that. So that verbiage needs to change. Then all ordinances, well, you can check the website out, but they're already there. We're working on the resolution, all this stuff. But we just have a question with one clerk. How am I supposed to do all this? With one clerk, how are we going to keep up with all this that you're going to?
There's 3.
Oh, really?
It's not the same.
You have one licensed clerk who currently.
There's 3 clerks on there.
Okay. Well, you don't know the difference in the clerks that we currently have. Then the other section that we have here, that under section 3, you guys are listing this under a procurement. We don't follow a procurement when you're saying $2,500.
Did Mr. Reese prepare this for the Shannon? Yes, Shannon. Mr. Reese did. Okay, does he know that we're not under model procurement? We're under 424, we're not under model procurement.
You're welcome to contact me and ask him that.
Well, no better
What are y'all there for?
Did you all have any communications with him?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we worked on this extensively.
Did he ask if you're under model procurement?
That's trying to find. Legal agency, correct, you're an attorney, he's an attorney.
So I'm not an attorney, and did you guys inform him that we're not under that?
We do not, no, but like I said.
But see, this is, you guys get frustrated because I know you feel like we're attacking you. That's not what's happening. We're honestly, and this is sincere, we're just trying to make sure that these are,
Well, that's what we want to, we want
they're following the KRS, but it's not. So like, let's talk about this since you are. You guys have no oversight over our website. That falls under the executive branch. Every ordinance this far, it reeks that council says, I want to be mayor. You guys, listen, I could do away with the website tomorrow and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not, you guys don't have that authority.
I'm not to say that you not know that I have no desire to be mayor. Ever.
Well, this ordinance is saying different. It's complete overreach. And then you're putting procurement ordinance in here, a section that does not apply to this city.
We have a motion on the floor, we're going to get it passed.
I've tried, listen, then your attorney needs to start showing up to these meetings so we can do this in an open, public forum and not private, secret meetings. It's not, Judge.
It seems like it always is, because Larry speaks constantly.
Because Larry, I'm giving him, he's the city attorney, and his job is to protect everybody in this room. Whether you like that or not, that's his job. And when he sees with all his experience that this is bogus, you guys are passing resolutions when you should be passing municipal orders, and do you guys realize that a resolution has zero teeth? Any competent attorney, KLC would tell you guys, the last meeting, you passed a bunch of resolutions that I cannot enforce.
Why can't you enforce it?
Because a resolution has no permanent standing, and that is by statute, Judge.
So
look up this stuff. A resolution is an acknowledgement that you're giving approval of something, but it has no long standing to say, I'm forcing the employees to do this. Go watch my videos. You'll learn a lot about it. But that's what these ordinances are about. To say that we just want, we're not trying to debate. You wanted to pass them, it's in your powers to pass them. And we're going to say kudos to you. But let's make sure that they're done according to the statutes and what's allowed. This is, it's just not.
I disagree, but it doesn't matter. We have a motion on the floor.
But why not get it right? You guys have been preaching about getting it right tonight, and this ain't right.
I would take my chances with Weeks over anyone at this point. And I trust Chris Weeks much more than I trust the man sitting next to you, Mayor. Sorry.
Judge, let's not do personal attacks.
I'm not.
Let's respect each
Mayor, I just think so.
Let's all hold decorum. This is a long meeting. Let's just get through this. Let's hold decorum. Stop. Hold decorum.
Judge, that was a personal attack.
No, I'm just saying, Mr. Bryson, there have been a lot of mistakes that you've made in the past.
And you know that.
Name one.
I can name several. I'm not getting into this. I can name several. Here's the thing. I trust Chris Weeks. He's a very competent attorney. There's a motion on the floor.
Okay. So,
Let me ask one more thing. Part of this is dealing with records retention. Do you know there's a state law about records retention? Do you know there's a schedule for records retention? Then why are you changing that by this ordinance? Why? You can't change state law. Just about everything.
We're not changing state law. If there's a mistake, Chris will correct it.
there's multiple. That's the only thing we're trying to
Can we
highlight.
please get through this?
Yeah, we're just trying to highlight that.
Yeah, I
The
get it.
passing ordinance, it said you know nothing about that you can't ask questions about. And then we only got a few hours ago. That's how much transparency there is in your transparency.
Chris Weeks at any time in the last 24 hours.
You know, he sent
Well, we
an
did,
email.
and we, the reply we got back, because actually the clerk come in, and I told her first thing, wanted to see if we can get these, so we can go through these, because we honestly want to work together. But then we were told that it would be a delay because we're waiting on some kind of LUC documentation. So when we received them, you know, if I would have sent all these out, I'd have had to give you guys 7 months. But we went through as much as we could, and then we're expected to digest this. Ultimately, you guys pass these, and I think you know this, but then my office has to implement. So the question becomes from you guys, not your attorney, because you are the elected officials here. If you are passing ordinances that are contrary to KRS, you're still expecting me to enforce it?
Why would you want
It's not nothing to do with veto. You're gonna override it, and that's fine, because that's your ability
We
to.
will only override it if it's legal, and I'll say that, and let's please move on.
Okay, so get your seat.
But we were told that Christie Shannon had these documents and would send them to us. And we got them about, what, 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. So we're getting the runaround, Judge.
And Mr. Bryson, you have made that clear like several times during this meeting. Motion on the floor, please.
Let's just go ahead and do a roll call.
Thank you.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House? Yes. Ms. Green? Yes. Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
And I could say after 40 years being city attorney, I've never seen a charade like this before. Never.
It's unfortunate that we have to go through this.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is ordinance number 2025-16. This is the amended budget ordinance.
This is an ordinance repealing.
So let me get a clarification before we read this. Are we going through each line item and reading the numbers as well, or are we just reading your first 3 pages? Generally, we get to, like, we'll say council or the appropriations, we read the totals.
Or should we just table this and give Mr. Weiss?
No, you can read the totals at every,
Just read the totals?
read, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just read the totals.
This is an ordinance repealing ordinance 2025-08 and adopting an amended budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government. Whereas a budget message was prepared and delivered as provided by KRS 91A.0307, and whereas the city council has not been provided the adequate and thorough quarterly appropriating statements required by KRS 91A.03011, and whereas the city of London has been the subject of lawsuits and there have otherwise been unexpected cost items and certain revenue items necessary a budget adjustment pursuant to KRS 91A.03010, whereas the city council has not been provided business updates from department heads. Now therefore be ordained by the city of London, Kentucky as follows. Ordinance 2025-08 is repealed in its entirety. That the amended budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 and attached as Exhibit A hereto, which is incorporated by reference, is hereby adopted, subject to the funding restrictions contained in Section 3 hereof. No part of the budget or line item shall be exceeded, and each line item is a separate appropriation and limitation on spending. The following budget and appropriation restrictions are hereby adopted as provided herein related to the expenditures of the fund herein. The appropriations contained in line 91 is expressly conditioned upon the retirement and release of certain mortgage and note executed on July 8th, 2025 and recorded in the office of Warren County Clerk, Book M1430, pages 22 through 52. Some or all of the funds in line 91 may be paid directly to Cumberland Valley National Bank to obtain the release of notes and mortgages. No funds shall be appropriated or transferred to the Tourism Commission under this line item until or unless the aforesaid note and mortgage is released and the note fully paid. Appropriations contained in line items 112, 127, 142, 166, 194, and 213 are conditioned upon preparation and submission of the City Council quarterly of operating reports required by KRS 91A.03011 and shall include an actual expenditure line item, an expenditure comparison, full and strict compliance with the city's pay and classification plan ordinance, and each department head, their acting designee or other designated representative of each of the city's departments appearing at each regular scheduled meeting and providing a report to the public and City Council regarding the department's activities and financials in the preceding month, to include truthfully answering questions by members of the City Council posed to them. The appropriations of the alcohol funds portion of the appropriated funds set forth in line items 142, 146, and 164 are expressly conditional upon compliance with 804 KAR 10-031 and the creation and retention of the firm required by the section of use of alcohol funds and a copy thereof being provided to the City Council. The appropriations contained in line item 107 expressly conditioned upon a monthly report to the City Council that lists all open lawsuits against the city or any of its officials, the next steps in that lawsuit, any estimated time frame for resolution, and reserves the city funds necessary to cover any losses or expenses. The appropriation of line item 166, 180, 184, and 187 are expressly conditioned upon no delivery of basic life support and advanced life support services with the exception of mutual aid requests, and in no event shall any funding in part be used to establish basic life support and advanced life support services which are being adequately provided by outside contractors. The appropriations in line item 142, 162, and 164 are expressly conditioned upon no policing occurring outside the city of London except for prisoner transport, pursuit activity that begins within city limits, detective activities, and then only for the 2 appointed detectives within the pay classification plan, which involve criminal investigations of crimes within the city that require travel outside the city, mutual aid requests, continuing education held outside the city, and as otherwise required by law. Further, the appropriations in line item 142, 162, and 164 are expressly conditioned upon the restriction that no employee's time or city funds shall be utilized for personal security by the London Police Department to the mayor or his family. Further, the appropriations in line items 142, 162, and 164 are expressly conditioned upon compliance with London Ordinance 2025-15. Appropriations in line items 134, 138, 151, 164, 165, 175, 180, 201, 202, 220, and 223 are expressly conditioned that all city-owned vehicles remain at the designated city location for which the department is assigned, if not being used for the purposes of city business, with the exception of employees that are assigned to on duty, especially street department employees during inclement weather or individuals on call, and detectives for the police department. For the avoidance of doubt, take-home vehicles are prohibited, except for personnel who are on call. The appropriations in line item 107, 112, 127, 142, 166, and 213 are expressly conditioned upon the payment of Chamber of Commerce of the $25,000 appropriated into line 65 on or before January 30th, 2026. If that $25,000 payment is not made on or before February 1st, 2026, all such funding within those line items shall cease. No city or council attorney funds in the line item 107 and 109 shall be spent for attendance of city council meetings unless there is scheduled executive session. The mayor shall certify to the city councilman on or before the 3rd business day of the month and in writing under oath and notarized that the city is in full compliance with the appropriations restrictions contained in paragraphs A through I of this section. The appropriations restrictions in paragraph A through I of this section 3 shall be enforceable and in action for specific performances declaring relief and/or conjunctive relief for a taxpayer of the City of London or City Council. Willful violations, including any person that aids or abets such violations of the appropriations restrictions in paragraphs A through I of this section 3, shall be a Class A misdemeanor and punished with a jail term of not less than 6 months or a fine of $500. This ordinance shall be effective upon publication. Further, any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance be repealed to the extent of such conflict. If if any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such information shall not affect the validity of the remaining ordinance.
The chair has just a few questions. So when we were looking at this one, and we did go through the finance, with the finance director as much as we could on this one. A budget that has already been started, you have to amend. So like you did away with the donations line where we donated to South Laurel and North Laurel cheer team. So you have to include the appropriated funds that's already been dispersed in this budget year. This budget is not recognized any disbursements that's already included in this. And so this has to be fixed before the next reading. And you'll need to contact the mayor's office so we can assist in getting you to where you're trying to get with this budget. Then another very questionable thing that I have that the chair would like to make note of. On ordinance number 2025-17, the summary was, and ordinance was prepared by Christy Shannon. So I'm starting to believe that Christy Shannon prepared all these documents because
She did not.
when we got to E, and E says that our fire department can no longer, so I want clarification, so everybody in this room needs it, Councilman, you gotta say it. If my fire department goes up and your child or grandchild, Mr. Baker, is not breathing, they stand there till Ambulance Inc. can get there? Well, no, that's what your ordinance just said. Please hold decorum so we can get things on the record from council. Your ordinance just said that they are not to give any type of life support. So you're saying to the public here tonight, in this first reading, again, very sketchy, Christy Shannon fought the city, and now she's dictating what's going in our ordinances. That
Yeah, not at all. No, that's not true.
the fire department pulls up and your kid, grandchild, a family member is coded, they have to stand there.
We can debate this on.
No, it's in plain black and white, Mr. Weaver. It's not a debate. It's not a debate. You are instructing the fire department in this ordinance that if a person is dying or needs resuscitation, that they cannot resuscitate.
Let them vote on it, that's what they want. Sage or?
Do you care to clarify this?
I don't want to be turning this into something that it's not. And you already have. But here's the thing. This has been done wrong from day one. You know it, and I know. Okay?
Saving lives have been done
No,
wrong.
it's not, that's not it.
Yes or
You
no?
spent taxpayer money without proof.
It's in the budget. It's in the budget.
But a new department is not in the budget.
It's not a new department.
It is.
If you go out throughout the state of Kentucky, fire departments or their EMS is inside of it.
You all did not come to, we don't know what's.
It's in the budget. Did you not read the budget?
Until, yes, of course I read.
Well, then you passed the budget.
Until we get on the same page together as a council. And that includes you.
people
Maybe.
That includes you. Until we're on the same page, this sticks, unfortunately. But,
So-
we have to cover, listen, we cannot unrealistically do this. This is the wrong way. We have to make it right. Do we want to save lives? Heck yes, we want to save lives. We want to do everything we can to save lives.
Let's hold decorum, guys.
Thank you. But it is what it is, unfortunately. We are in the dark, and we have to know what's going on. We have to.
Let's please hold decorum and you guys are gonna miss what council is saying, and it's important. This is about, if you live in this city, regardless of how you feel about me, imagine your response time of your fire department is 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Pull the records and the CADs from over here at 911 dispatch. Every one of you in this building, regardless if you like me or not, do an open records request and pull the average response time for Ambulance Inc. 25 to 30 minutes. Now, you guys can play politics and say, no, Judge, because this right here, it's sickening that we are beholden to a private entity before the people that's sitting in this room. Now, have you, Mr. Weaver, or any of you, the 4 or 5 that's sitting up here, that done an open records request and what initiated every bit of this? Have you, Mr. Weaver, asked the dispatch what is the average response time for the Ambulance Inc.? No, you've not. Have you, Mr. Weaver, been told, and your staff out here on 192, 2 kids bleeding out, that there's not an ambulance to come, that they had to get mutual aid out of Whitley County? It's going to be 45 minutes. Our police officers, everybody in this room is police officer, had to throw them in the back of a unit, which is not allowed, but we have to save lives, to transport these bleeding children to a hospital. Everything you're doing here is a vindictive nature, and it's blatant and plain. If it's about saving lives, then sit down with me at my office and get rid of this ridiculous wording that's only benefiting the attorney that you're paying. Now, what is very upsetting to me in this is not about saving lives, because not one of you have reached out to my office trying to find out facts and truth. You've not even went so much to the dispatch center. Then we have firefighters in a building burnt, and then we get told there's no ambulance.
That's not true.
So guess what happened? Ambulance people that was off duty had to come in as my men are laying on the ground, and we're being told there's no ambulance. And then we had to throw some in the back of a police car and haul them down there to where? The hospital.
I think that's the right thing to do.
No, you don't, Judge. Your ordinance just said it.
I would have done the same thing had I been standing there. You know it. You would. I would. But here's the deal. We have to protect our city. The way it's been done has not been done legitimately.
The state of Kentucky said you have a need. It passed. We got the certificate. We are licensed, and we are saving lives. And it's a shame that you are sitting here acting like that we have not said. Where is Buckner here?
This would be good to know.
Buckner, I want you to come up to this podium. Is somebody here that can speak on how many lives you have saved since we've got this license?
You know, somebody else has the explanation. I know Jeremy said, Chris, he said,
Excuse me, Donnie.
Hold your peace. I want you to come over here to the mic, Chief. Because we keep hearing that we're not saving lives. And let me make you something very plain. You just did. How many lives, Chief, have we saved?
Since we got the CO in, just a few days back, 3 lives have been saved. We're sick and tired of y'all's bullcrap.
So what you are trying to convince us of
I'm not trying to convince you of anything, Kelly.
is that you have 5 here tonight. Well, the 6th one isn't from London. 5 people from London, Kentucky, born and raised, that care so much about London. When one person moves into this, he don't even move into this table.
Let's hold the quorum.
But you're wanting to say that doesn't make any sense, that 5 people would work against their very own city?
Let's hold the quorum.
No, it's only
You need to quit, you need
It's
to
all
stop.
a lie. It's all a lie and then misconstrued. If you want to believe a liar, that's fine.
Well, gatekeeper, every time you speak, it's a lie. Every time you speak, it's a lie. You guys are trying to help a private business, period. Judge, we record every bit of these meetings. It's facts. Let's hold decorum. Buckner, are you here?
When the public speaks, I'll speak. I need 10 minutes.
Well, we'll have, is it okay for you guys to hear the facts from the people you're saying this ain't needed from?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we're asking the council. This is a regular call meeting. We can talk about it. You can amend the agenda. You bring all new agendas here. But this is what I'm saying. You guys talk about transparency. You talk about you was doing the right thing. You talked about how long you lived here. Yeah, you're right. You've lived here, Kelly, your whole entire life, and you bragged constantly about how much you love London. But then on a simple life-saving thing, you've brought up money, but then you can't show anybody in the public where the city is harmed, because it's not harmed. Nothing we've done has impacted our budget in a negative way. You cannot show it. You cannot show where any actions by the fire department has caused a negative impact. And the only body that it's impacting is that good old boy system, honey.
The certificate of need hearing, the certificate of need hearing that we had, you know,
I would like to know at least 3 times he's been out of work. And I would ask him to do something. At least 7 times he's been out of work. Mayor, you've been out of work.
the certificate of need hearing that we went through, Juddy, that lasted for 3 days. We had to provide before the hearing the disclosure documents. So Christy Shannon has all of the information that we gave to her that showed even before what the chief just talked about. Since this certificate of need was approved, the lives that had been saved, all of the information that the mayor said that you would get from dispatch, we gave to Christy Shannon. We had to. We exchanged all of that information. So your own lawyer has that information.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor.
I want to make clear that just because I haven't said anything about some of the other violations of statutes, of laws, doesn't mean they're not there, because I noticed we only had this for 2-3 hours before this meeting.
Do we know?
I know, Jody, you do, and you want to vote on this as much as you can. But give me just a minute, okay? There was no appeal that Christy Shannon made from the granting, and the state has granted that, and you're trying to undo everything that the state has done. No, it's not duly noted until I tell you about it. You obviously don't know about it.
They don't care, Larry. They don't care.
Let's hold decorum.
So this is Exhibit A. For general fund, there's $800,000, garbage, there's $2 million. Alcohol, there was $400,000. For revenues, discount on taxes was $11,000. Property tax current was $730,000. Property tax prior was $15,000. Penalty on taxes was $6,500. Bank tax was $230,000. Payments in lieu of taxes was $28,000. Franchise taxes was $50,000. Motor vehicle taxes was $55,000. Alcohol license fees was $200,000. Alcohol package tax was $625,000. Business license $140,000. Penalty license was $500. Building permits was $30,000. Insurance license fees was $2,420,000. Utility franchises was $820,000. I think that's OVC franchises, $80,000. House Bill 413 was $18,000. Arrest fees was $13,000. Payroll tax was $4,450,000. Interest income was $85,000. Fire incentive pay was $108,000. Miscellaneous was $70,000. Police incentive pay was $200,000. Rec reports was $1,000. Garbage collection under garbage was $4,400,000. Refunds on taxes and license, I think this is $3,000. Parking fines was $500. LGEA fund under municipal aid was $177,000. We have nothing over the over and short. Garbage compactor was $4,000 from garbage. Grant KLC was $6,000. HIDA reimbursement was $19,000. Highway safety grant was $20,000. FBI reimbursement was $21,500. Recycling income under garbage was $410,000. North Main Street grant was $1,300,000. Community center lease was $96,000. Restaurant tax $120,000. Fire department billing was $30,000. County reimbursement was $130,000. Recycle grant under garbage was $229,000. State building fees was $40,000. Opiate settlement was $10,000. Tourism was was $35,000. State fire aid was $15,000. Restaurant tax is $4 million. Proceeds from insurance, I think loss was $1,407,127.06. For total revenues was $16,428,127.06. Under garbage was $5,043,000. Under municipal aid was $177,000. Under alcohol was $825,000. In Part B, general government appropriations, council salaries for general fund was $36,000. Mayor's salary was $54,000. Social security was $5,900. Medicare was $1,600. Health was $53,000. Retirement was $20,000. Life insurance was $550. Dental insurance was $1,500. Telephones was $3,000. Newspaper publications was $8,000. I have nothing here for professional fees under this one. Building maintenance was $5,000. Electric service under general fund was $190,000. For garbage was $200,000. For water and gas was $35,000. Insurance was $270,000. Under garbage it was $450,000. Chamber of Commerce was $25,000. Miscellaneous expenses, we have nothing. Under Laurel Industrial Authority, we have $225,000. Cumberland Valley Ad, we have $2,000. House Bill 19, we have $15,000. Unemployment insurance was $25,000. Sampson Branch debt was $61,000. We have nothing under charitable donations. Credit card fees was $1,000. Restaurant tax was $4 million. Contingency was $75,000. Public relations was $3,170. KY dues was $3,100. Zoning Adjustment Board was $20,000. LLC, I think that's JP, was $25,000. Code Enforcement Board was $20,000. Opiate settlement was $140,000. Airports $40,000. HSA is $100,000. OPAC was $25,000. PHI flight was $8,000, 911 dispatch was $200,000, main sidewalk grant was $1,650,000, community engagement was $2,500, AR Dyke was $30,000, travel was $1,000, insurance loss proceeds to tourism was $1,047,127.06. IT salaries, this was through 12/31/2025, shows $38,000. IT Medicare was $1,150. Social Security for IT was $4,700. IT retirement was $20,000. IT health was $25,000. IT dental was $300. IT life $75. IT contract services was $110. Drug testing was $4,000. Safety equipment $7,000. Safety grant $6,000. Safety training $1,500. Hazmat management $2,000. Hazmat management, animal shelters $20,000. OSHA 1910 was $6,000. Parking rent maintenance $11,600. This is part C, legal. City attorney professional fees out of general fund was $115,000. Other city professional fees outside council was $5,000. City council hired attorney professional fees $115,000. Nothing under updated ordinances and office supplies was $3,500. Part D is administrative appropriations, so clerk, admin salaries, general fund, $250,000. Garbage, $25,000. Social Security was $22,000. Medicare is $6,000. Retirement is $72,000. Health insurance is $90,000. Life insurance is $500. Dental insurance is $1,200. Printing was $5,000. Postage was $6,000. Office supplies was $4,000. Miscellaneous was $500. Training was $2,000. Bamboo was $60,000. That's bamboo and our CPA. New equipment was $33,000, and cleaning supplies was $1,500. And this one is building inspector. Building inspector department salaries was $111,000. Social Security was $12,500. Medicare was $3,000. Retirement was $43,000. Health insurance was $60,000. Dental insurance was $700. Life insurance was $300. Vehicle maintenance was $4,000. There's nothing on travel. Uniforms was $1,000. License and memberships was $1,000. Fuel was $8,000. Office supplies was $1,000. Training was $3,000. And update map was $1,000. Under police salaries was $1,312,000. Incentive pay was, overall alcohol for police salaries was $735,000. Incentive pay was $200,000. Social Security was $135,000. Under Medicare was $43,200. Under retirement, general fund was $262,500, and then under alcohol it was $445,000. Health insurance was $600,000. Life insurance was $2,500. Dental insurance was $8,000. Uniforms was $12,000. Fuel was $50,000. Office supplies was $3,000. Communication was $2,100. Training was $15,000. We have nothing here for IT. Canine maintenance is $8,000. Building maintenance is $5,000. Postage $200. Cleaning supplies $1,000. I think this is for domestic violence fund $3,000. House Bill 413 court $8,000. Investigative section is $3,000. Highway safety grants $20,000. Car equipment is $150,000 and $45,000 from alcohol. Vehicle maintenance is $45,000. Next one is the fire department. Fire department salaries is $610,000. Incentive pay was $108,000. Social Security is $71,250. Medicare was $20,000. Retirement was $235,000. Health insurance was $390,000. Life insurance was $2,000. Dental insurance was $4,300. Building maintenance was $20,000. Vehicle maintenance was $30,000. Radio repairs was $7,000. Fire school was $11,000. Miscellaneous, we have nothing there. Uniforms was $5,000. Fuel was $30,000. Cleaning supplies was $4,000. Office supplies was $5,000. Insurance was $60,000. Medical supplies was $5,000, turnout gear was $20,000, CPR was $5,000, with nothing for new vehicle. Honor guard was $2,000, fire equipment was $20,000, nothing for fire IT. Public relations $2,000, fire truck payment $114,000, fire prevention is $4,000. Next one is for rescue squad. Rescue squad salaries is $99,500, social security is $9,000, Medicare is $2,000, retirement is $30,600, health insurance is $50,000, life insurance is $200, dental insurance is $500, fuel $25,000, vehicle maintenance $10,000, radio repairs $30,000, equipment radio $4,000, training $4,000, public relations $500. Turnout gear $4,000, truck payment $31,000, Jaws of Life $20,000, nothing in IT, dive equipment is $10,000, utilities is $20,000. This one's Public Works. Public Works Department salaries is $73,526.88. From garbage is $1,500,000. Social Security is $11,250. From garbage, that's $100,500. From Medicare, that's $270.25. From garbage, $24,750. For retirement, it's $19,000. From garbage, it's $345,000. Health insurance is $43,500. From garbage is $827,000. Life insurance is $600. From garbage is $3,400. Dental insurance is $930, from garbage is $270. Vehicle maintenance is $15,500, from garbage that's $139,500. From dumping, there's none from general, from garbage is $800,000. Uniforms is $4,000, from garbage is $16,000. From motor fuel and oil, it's $10,000 from general fund, garbage is $176,000. Blacktop construction material is $150,000, and then from the municipal aid program, it's $177,000. Construction material is $65,000. Salt is $20,000. $10,000 from garbage. Maintenance products is $4,000. Street signs is $5,000. Sidewalks is $5,000. New used equipment is $100,000 from garbage. Building maintenance, general fund is $2,000. $30,000 from garbage. Nothing in infrastructure. Hand tools $2,000. Shop tools from garbage is $5,000. Dumpster repairs $8,000 from garbage. Dumpster is $120,000 from garbage. Tree trimming is $3,000. Public Works IT, we have garbage $5,000. Office equipment, I think that's $800 from general fund, and then garbage is $1,200. Weed control is $3,000. The rest of these items are in garbage. Safety and training is $2,000. Office supplies for sanitation is $1,000. Cleaning supplies for sanitation is $1,000. Compactor maintenance and installation is $2,000. New used compactors is $20,000. Recycle grant $229,000. Garbage truck payment $70,000. Recycle expenses $6,000. Leaf truck replacement was $123,000. And then it looks like the total appropriations will be $15,134,553.94. That's the general fund. From garbage, it looks like it'll be $5,343,620. Nothing from the local government assistance. From municipal aid program, it'll be $177,000. And then from alcohol, it was $1,225,000.
Can council just give clarification to us on what you were changing from the current budget to this budget?
I mean, it's a lot to discuss. I mean, I have to go through one item.
Well, generally, like, although an ordinance is done, like we did in your earlier ordinance, there's a line that's stricken and then the new has a line under it. This ordinance doesn't have any of that. So for transparency, then for clarity too, it says in the IT salaries through 12/31, the clerk didn't read that part, but it says IT salaries through 12/31/25. And then you added a portion that says IT contracted services for $110,000. Are we getting rid of IT at the end of this year?
I think we're looking at, the best way to get most of our money, and maybe outside, sourcing outside may be much cheaper, so. From that.
$110,000. We'll get to our motion, but the city's going to make since you added it in this ordinance, we're going to make a matter of record. The clerk will pass this out. This is tourism loan documents, release and mortgage packet. This is notice to formally advise council that the London Tourism Commission has transmitted to my office the loan documentation is previously been subjected to council inquiry discussion. There are new loan records for council's awareness and for public record. The lending bank has provided tourism with another loan, and with documentation reflecting that this is a separate loan. Because tourism secured another loan, the first loan that had the fairgrounds attached to it has been paid in full, and the mortgage release is also in this packet showing you that the fairgrounds has in fact been released. Included in the packet is a letter for tourism that you'll find with paperwork from the bank confirming that the full release of the mortgage. This letter is provided in a matter of official record and is attached alongside with the loan documents by tourism. My office received these loan documents on December 1st, 2025, and they're now being provided to council for transparency, included into the city record. So there goes number 8. Need a motion? First, second?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is the first reading of ordinance 2025-18. This is regarding the London Utility Commission.
This is a summary ordinance number 2025-18 entitled "An Ordinance Amending Ordinances." An ordinance 2023-03 recreating and reestablishing the London City Utility Commission and necessity thereof, establishing the number of commissioners, oath of office, insurance quorum for meetings, removal from office, budget expenses and rates of service, water and sewer rates, and approval by council, financial authority, annual audit, employees of the commission, bidding and procurement practices, meeting dates and times, minutes of meetings, previous agreements, understandings, and contracts, delegation of authorities, servility, repealing prior ordinances, and effective dates. This summary is prepared by Christy Shannon, who is certified to practice law in the Commonwealth. This ordinance was made necessary because prior ordinance 2023-03 contravened state law in several respects, which itself was enacted following a determination by the Kentucky Department of Local Government decided the London Utility Commission, LUC, was a special purpose community government entity over the objection of the LUC. This ordinance amends ordinance 2023-03 and provides that commissioners of the LUC are appointed for 4-year terms by the mayor, subject to approval of the city council, continue in office until their successors are appointed. The 3 appointments following the effective date of the ordinance shall be for staggered terms to permit board continuity, and vacancies are appointed by the remaining term, and commissioners may be removed from office by the city council for cause, all as explicitly provided in KRS 96.320. This ordinance amended corrects typographical errors, repeated words contained in the original ordinance. This ordinance amended provides for the authority of the Utility Commission to undertake financial obligations beyond the fiscal year with the approval of City Council, and provides that any authority not delegated to LUC is reserved to the city. The full and complete ordinance 2025-18 is on file at the office of the London City Clerk and can be reviewed there during normal business hours.
Council, when we were going through this, there's just a few questions that we have that you don't care to answer. Have you guys been in talks with the utility commission, the commission over there itself?
Yes, somewhat, and I think you had been as well. You had mentioned.
I go to
We'll
the
sign,
meetings.
we'll sign the, okay. There's been some.
No, I'm talking about this, that's the resolutions, we'll get to those, I'm talking about this ordinance. Have you talked to the commission about this? Were they aware of the ordinance change?
I'm not for sure. I don't think so, not on my.
One of the first things that we just want to bring to your attention, it says that it changed and it's subject to approval of city council. There shall continue in office until the successor are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by council. That is not statutory allowed either. If a person expires out, they don't serve until we all come in agreement. So you may want to check that with Chris Weeks. 14, it also says the removal of commissioner. Any member of the commission may be removed from office caused by the council. Statutorily, it gives the authority to the mayor to remove board and commissioners, not council. Now, they do have the right to a hearing before you guys, but that needs to be fixed too. I'm just trying to get as much before the public in the errors of your guys' ordinance, but that was immediately what we said. If there's no other discussion, we just need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Since we're going over this, in some other things, and I honestly don't remember which of the ordinances did this, the on-call, vehicles that affects the police department, of course, the fire department, you know, a lot of those services, but it also affects the utility commission. You did not address that at all. So they're not allowed on-call services. Now, that's going to present a serious problem if somebody's water line or sewer line breaks in the middle of the night. You may want to talk with Mr. Weiss about that.
Okay, the next thing we have on the agenda is potential ordinance relating to authorizing the loan, for the London Utility Commission and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. But it looks like we have a resolution.
Mayor, I think what we're wanting to do is amend that to resolutions instead of the ordinance. You're on G, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we get a motion to amend to resolution?
Yes, and we'll need resolution numbers.
Okay, and then second for the changing of the roll call?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green? Mr. Weaver?
Mayor, will those resolution numbers be given later?
Yeah, she'll issue them.
Thank you.
You'll remember the mayor sent a memo to y'all outlining the differences and distinctions between ordinances, municipal orders, and resolutions. Resolutions are usually used, and if you go to the KLC trainings, they tell you this. They're used to declare, for example, Child Awareness Week or something like that. So this is not properly what these should be called. You may want to run that by Mr. Wilson.
Thank you.
Okay. We've got three different things here we're shuffling through. I do apologize. The clerk will read the first document agreement between the City of London and the City of London Utility Commission.
So this is an agreement between the City of London and the City of London Utility Commission relating to a guarantee and agreement to pay payments from loan and agreement between the City of London and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority to provide up to $2,904,000 of loan funds for projected number F22-015. Whereas the City of London, Kentucky City, and the London Utility Commission's LUC have previously determined that it is appropriate to make an application to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, to obtain a 20-year loan related to constructing certain facilities and improvements to the project to the City of London Utilities Commission water system in. Whereas the funds to be paid for the loan and note will be paid by LUC funds with an original loan amount of $9,887,183. The principal forgiveness through KIA in the amount of $2,338,149. A repayment amount in the amount of $7,549,034. The payments to be made on June 1st and December 1st of each year in the amount of $224,491.68 payments. A repayment term of 20 years, and that includes a motorized scheduled calling for principal payments and interest at the rate of 1.75%. All is contained in a certain Kentucky Infrastructure Authority Assistance Agreement for Project F22-015 hereinafter the loan. Now therefore, the city and the LUC hereby agree and contract this day, December 1st, 2025, as follows. That the LUC agrees that it shall be solely responsible to pay all of the payments due on the loan on or before the due dates called for by the loan from LUC funds directly to the authority as provided for the payment instructions contained in the loan. That LUC provides an unconditional guarantee to the city of all funds called for by the loan. That the payments shall be budgeted for and appropriated by the LUC annually. That the LUC may and shall be made a party to any proceedings in the event of default or threatened default of the loan. That the remedy of special performance shall be available to the city in any proceeding arising out of this agreement without the requirement to post bond. That Kentucky law shall apply. That venue lie in the Laurel County Circuit Court for any actions arising hereunder, and that both parties waive trial by jury for any disputes herein.
Just need a motion? Second?
Second.
You're up.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House? Ms. Green? Yes. Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
We have a resolution, which we'll have to get the resolution number 4 issued. I think she has an update right here, Mike. No, just read the numbers.
So the numbers that we have on this one, the signed infrastructure authority to provide up to $9,887,183. Sorry, $9,887,183.
Council, what we would like to do with this though is type this out, fix this so we're not having handwritten documents, and then have Mike re-sign this after this meeting, maybe get it done tomorrow. Are you good with that? We can fix them. We'll fix them.
Yeah, he was saying the titles were wrong.
Oh,
I'm sorry. The titles were wrong. The amount was wrong.
It's a resolution. So this is a resolution, right? Questions brought. So resolution, we change the title, fix the numbers, and then you're okay with that?
I'm assuming so.
So we're looking right, reading as the $9,287,000.
Well, that is the number that they provide.
Well, we're gonna have,
That's what was changing on this one,
Yeah,
Mayor, excuse me, we're gonna have a second reading on this, I think.
No, it's a resolution on one reading.
Okay, okay.
So the totals are not, the one that Chris Weiss prepared is not 2.9 million. The number is going to be 9,887,183, correct?
This is the problem when you don't talk to the utility. You don't talk to the clerk. You don't talk with anybody that knows anything about this.
So we'll go ahead and read resolution, we'll issue the number, that is 9, correct? Yeah. And I think that he said the titles were wrong as well. This was for the water treatment plant.
And Jim, this is your one shot at this.
Hey, Mike, can you bring that, do you have the corrected title with you, the titles in your file?
We won't have a project number from KIA till they pass it. So that they pass a resolution. KIA requires a resolution. Once we get the resolution, they'll assign it a project.
But in these titles, all we need to do is fix the dollar amount, is that correct? And then we're good, okay.
But the project number's wrong too.
So get rid of the project number, okay.
So this one is a resolution approving and authorizing an assistance agreement between the city of London, Kentucky and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority to provide up to $9,887,133 of loan funds for project number, we don't have a number. Whereas the city council, the governing authority of the city of London, Kentucky, the borrower, has previously determined that it is the public interest to acquire and construct certain facilities and improvements, the project, to the City of London Utilities Commission's water system, the system. And whereas the borrower has made applications to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, the authority for the purpose of providing monies to construct the project, and whereas in order to obtain such monies, the borrower is required to enter into an assistance agreement with the authority, the assistance agreement. Now therefore, it be resolved by the City of London, Kentucky as follows: that the governing authority hereby approves and authorizes the assistance agreement between the borrower and the authority regarding project number, we don't have a number, subsequently in the form on file with the borrower for the purpose of providing the necessary financing to the borrower for the project. That the mayor and city clerk of the borrower be and hereby are authorized, directed, and empowered to execute necessary documents or agreements and to otherwise act on behalf of the borrower to effect such financing. That this resolution shall take effect at the earliest time provided by law on December 1st, 2025.
Just need a motion to approve this resolution.
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
We have another resolution approving authorizing the agreement between the City of London and the City of London Utility Commission related to the loan and agreement between the City of London and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. And you just have to fix
Okay.
the rest time.
A resolution approving and authorizing an agreement between the City of London and the City of London Utility Commission relating to the loan and agreement between the City of London and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority to provide up to $9,887,183 of loan funds for project number. Whereas the City of London, Kentucky and the London Utility Commission, LUC, has previously determined that it is appropriate to make an application to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, the authority to obtain a 20-year loan related to constructing certain facilities and improvements, the project, to the City of London Utility Commission's water system, the system, and whereas the funds to be paid for that loan and note will be paid by LUC funds with the original loan amount of $9,887,183, principal forgiveness through the KIA in the amount of $2,338,149, a repayment amount in the amount of $7,549,034, with payments to be made on June 1st and December 1st of each year in the amount of $224,491.68. A repayment term of 20 years that it includes an interest schedule calling for principal payments and interest at a rate of 1.75% year after the loan. Now therefore be resolved by the City of London, Kentucky as follows. That the mayor is authorized to and shall enter an agreement with LUC for to guarantee and to pay the authority the amount required by the loan, a copy of which is attached hereto, a copy of which is attached hereto. Adopted on December 1st, 2025.
What's council's pleasure?
Motion approved.
Second.
Be your roll call.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House? Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Thank you, Zach and Mr. Bowman. Next thing on the agenda is an update from the mayor regarding the audit that the city's going through the state auditor. We don't have no update. We've not heard anything. Update from the mayor requesting legal counsel update from most.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Now, when you do hear something, how will we be notified?
The next public forum you have.
Thank you.
I like to do it all in the public. Update from the mayor requesting legal counsel update from the most recent litigations. This should have been an executive session. You don't talk about litigations in the public.
I think the purpose is because you have been named personally and Larry had been named personally in some lawsuits, that might interfere with executive. How would we go into executive session with that being the case?
I can tell you, I'm not gonna talk with you about litigation filed against me.
In the city, you're not?
I'm not going to talk with you about a lawsuit that involves me.
Well, I think you're involved, it may have been a suit or two.
I think I'm up to 7.
With the city.
Just one.
Larry's only got 1.
So my question again, how do we enter executive session? Is it?
Well, I mean, we just put it on the agenda.
I understand, but will you be able to, and will Larry be able to? Is that something because you're?
Well, I think the issue, like we're going to have, and Donna, don't take this personal, but when you got one of the claimants riding around with a gun, pistol in his hip with her, and then the other one's driving her around, no, we're not going to talk to you and your buddies about the lawsuit. Because, and let's make this plain, when you guys impeached me, and I want this to be public and you guys can get the video from City Hall, that's who you had in City Hall, and the first thing out of your mouth to my staff, the staff that serves this city, was the policy and how much does it pay out. That's what you wanted to know when you had your little meeting on Sunday after my removal. You all sat in City Hall, and that's what you wanted to know with the, not how do we move the city forward, not how do we do this. You wanted to know about all the policies and what they're going to be paying out. So I will consult with my attorney to see if we can talk to you untrustworthy council members about that. So the ones I pay for. So moving on, update from the mayor regarding the clearing and cutting of Levi Jackson State Park. As you know, big tornado blew through there. I know that I've seen some chatter out of your guys' side that we are cutting it down for tourism to build buildings. It's not true. That's all part of FEMA. FEMA and the forestry department has been out there. They deemed what could be fixed and what could not be. It all had to be checked by both of those entities. So every bit of that is tornado impact. And they're still in the progress of getting it cleaned up. You can see if you rode out there, our public works department and our guys that absolutely doing an amazing job cleaning up a lot of twisted bent trees. Again, highlight, we have received 0 funding from FEMA, and the city, with our amazing current budget, is doing fantastic financially and navigating through this horrific ordeal that our community has went through. There's the update for that. Update from the mayor regarding the sidewalk project. The sidewalk project is, right now in the phase of purchasing right away. It's took a long time to get us where we're at, a lot of design.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Purchasing right away. So the state only had so many feet from the center of the road out to the sidewalk. To get our sidewalks ADA compliant, we have to purchase more land from landowners up through the North Main Street. We did a town hall meeting back, now it's probably been, what, Phil, a year ago? Maybe about 2 years ago. It's been a progress, but during that, the state was here and so was the engineer. We talked to landowners and made them, some of the ones that were going to be impacted, aware of that. So right now, again, they are going to be going through pinning the locations and marking out where we are going to need to purchase from these. And this is all part of the TAP grant process. So that will be coming out of the first round of funding.
You recently got full funding, is that correct, just recently?
No, we did not get recent. We are applying, and that's something that we have on the agenda. We were going to put on the agenda because we was talking to Cumberland Valley Ad, and we need to get a resolution from you guys. We're requesting $5 million more to do both sides of the sidewalk. The state thought that they initially, when we had talked to the engineers in the state, we assumed, or they assumed, I guess, that they had more right-of-way through there. After an assessment, there's a lot of areas that do not have any sidewalks, so it's going to cost quite more bit of money to be able to get us to where we need to go. And again, this is under the TAP grant. The city will have a 20% match, which could be in kind. We're going to be doing a lot of the work. I know LUC is they're committed to upgrading their infrastructure along Main Street as well. And this would give us ADA compliant sidewalks on both sides of the road, all the way to the McDonald's at this time, and that would give us the option to also install lighting. Any other questions regarding that? If it's okay, I'd like to have the clerk pass out this resolution for the new TAP grant that we are going to be asking for more funding from the state of Kentucky.
How do you feel about this? Is it look promising to get this now?
I mean, we're going to apply. It's like anything else. We hope to get it. We have a good argument. It's needed. I don't know if you travel up North Main. If you do, you'll see there's a lot of portions that are very unsafe. A lot of the road don't have any sidewalks. We have a lot of elderly, a lot of children, and even the people that walk and like to jog in the city. That sidewalk's horrible.
And while we're talking about sidewalks, I've got a friend of mine, has a father or parent in Laurel Heights that's in a wheelchair, and he takes him down frequently in a wheelchair and actually brings him down a good little walk down Main Street. And he says the sidewalks coming out of Laurel Heights is none. And I don't know if that falls on Laurel Heights, if that's something that the city can do. He mentioned this to me several months ago.
Yeah, so if it's in our right of way, of course, we'll look at it. And that's something that we were going to be doing in the next budget. We, of course, want to continue to do our blacktopping, but the next budget, we were going to be primarily focusing on updating the sidewalks throughout the city to get them ADA compliant.
And once you get out, down Hill Street, they're pretty decent. But
Yeah.
coming out of Laurel Heights.
And I'm sure Philip has that on his list, but we'll definitely take a look at what we can do to expedite that. But the next budget, we were going to be trying to work on updating a lot more of the sidewalks throughout the city. We just had so much, and I'm very proud of this team. They've gotten a lot of blacktop done over 3 years. You're talking on where I think we're getting near 38 roads. So we've done a tremendous amount of work. Update, so we had the board nomination from the Housing Authority we sent to you guys. And
Did we do this resolution? Did we read this?
I was gonna give you time to read it, then I was gonna come back to it. I just didn't want to, jump.
Tonight, or?
I would like to tonight. Update, on this board nomination of the Housing Authority that was sent to you guys. Helen McCoy, we were just looking for you guys, a motion to approve her.
I know Helen. So I didn't know the name until right then, if you did provide that for us. But I know her, and I've not discussed it with any of the other council members, because none of us were given that name. But I'm gonna make a motion that we accept Helen McCoy to the board of the Housing Authority.
And then do your roll call.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
So the next one we have is John Combs for the Code Enforcement Board. We're just seeking to appoint him to that.
What was the name again?
John Combs,
What are the qualifications?
longtime businessman, very smart individual. So, I mean, I can't remember.
I think, I don't know him professionally, but I think he's an attorney here. I've never been involved in a case with him or against him or anything, but he would be,
Yeah, and I think he has some real estate property here as well too. So I don't know him personally.
I'd personally like to take your time, I don't know, I'd like to table it if we could.
So a motion to table to January meeting.
I see. Second.
Need a roll call?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
What was that name again?
John Combs, C-O-M-B-S. So I'm sure you guys have, we sent it out to you guys, it's the deed conveyance, from South Little League, the county owns, we own North, which is outside of the city. So that there's a switch. The county has already approved, physical court has done approved. So we're just needing approval to accept the South Laurel Little.
Motion, we accept that.
I second
And then for me to have the authority to sign the deeds and documents. Okay. Second, was by Kelly.
it. Yes.
Do your roll call.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, can I backtrack and ask one question? I meant to, I forgot. The logs that are being logged out from the damage, are there any good logs that you're able to get money for or anything like that? Where's that going?
So, so the guy that's out there that is doing this project is at cleaning up the logs. When we went through with the forestry department, they said most of the trees and logs are twisted. Imagine that, which basically destroyed a lot of the wood out there. So the gentleman that we are doing business with on getting this done, he is keeping any logs that would make any money off of them, and that's his pay. We're not having to necessarily shell out any money
So
for
he's
his
not getting
services.
paid anything other than the salvage of what he.
Whatever he can salvage, which the forestry department pretty much claimed a lot of that was not salvageable. If you went through that area, it was really twisted.
Yeah, is he cutting anything down or just building?
Yes, if the forestry department or FEMA deem a tree to be unsafe, that maybe was that, because they went through and looked at every bit of this, and they said that that tree could possibly die, then we would remove it, but, it would be at their request.
Well, what's the plan out there? Are they gonna reforest it with, new trees, or have they make a decision once it's all cleaned up?
So, you know, talking with FEMA, we're not that far. I'd imagine the federal government would love to see it reforested, but, you know, we have a lot more work to do out there. This is just what you're seeing from there. We have a lot of waterway that was impacted down there that people cannot see. So, there's gonna be quite a more extensive work. So they've not begun to talk about whether they're going, you know, that's the direction we need to go, or it's going to be left, just a cleared field for tourism to utilize in another manner. The second reading of, this would be old business 2025-12. This is amendment to the city ethics ordinance.
So this is an ordinance amending the city's ethics ordinance 2023-10. Whereas the city of London has authority under KRS 65.003 to establish a code of ethics and to provide other provisions related thereto. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of London, Kentucky as follows. Section 5 of ordinance 2023-10 is amended to read as follows. The Board of Ethics was previously created by city ordinance. The Board of Ethics shall have the authority, duties, and responsibilities as set forth in this ordinance to enforce provisions of this ordinance and fulfill other obligations as stated in Kentucky statutes. The Board of Ethics shall consist of 5 members who shall be appointed by the mayor, subject to approval by the city council, or as provided in D of this ordinance. Not more than 3 members shall be elected or appointed officers, whether paid or unpaid. No member of the Board of Ethics shall be a city officer or a city employee of the city or any city board, commissions, or agency. The member shall serve for a term of 3 years or until his successors are legally appointed, whichever is later. Each member of the Board of Ethics shall have been a resident of the city of London for at least 1 year prior to the date of the appointment and shall reside in the city throughout the term of office. The members of the Board of Ethics shall be chosen by virtue of their known and consistent reputation for integrity and their knowledge of local government affairs. The members may be reappointed for any number of consecutive terms. A member of the Board of Ethics may be removed by the mayor for misconduct, inability, willful neglect of duties, or violation of this ordinance, or upon recommendation by a majority vote of the Board of Ethics supported by a written response for such recommendations subject to the approval of City Council. Vacancies on the Board of Ethics shall be filled within 60 days by the mayor, subject to approval by the City Council. If the vacancy is not filled by the mayor with approval of City Council within 60 days, the remaining members of the Board of Ethics shall fill the vacancy. All vacancies shall be filled for the remainder of an unexpired term. Members of the Board of Ethics shall serve without compensation unless otherwise approved by the City Council. They shall be reimbursed for all necessary and reasonable expenses incurred in the performance of their duties, subject to removal of the mayor and the ability of funding from the City Council and the Board of Ethics may be provided legal counsel, and that the city shall be responsible for such attorney fees. The city shall provide a policy of liability insurance for the members of the Board of Ethics in the faithful performance of their duties and responsibilities pursuant to that ordinance. The Board of Ethics shall annually elect a chairperson from among the membership. The chairperson shall be the presiding officer and a full voting member of the board. The chairperson shall conduct all meetings of the Board of Ethics and maintain order at such meetings. The chairperson may obtain city police presence at any meeting deemed necessary by the chair. Other than chairperson, no member of the board shall have any authority to act on behalf of the board unless authorized by the board. Meetings of the Board of Ethics shall be held as necessary upon the call of the chairperson or a written request of a majority of the members of the board, or at the request of the mayor or a majority vote at City Council. A quorum shall consist of the majority of the members who have been appointed to the Board of Ethics. Any member of the Board of Ethics who is in conflict of interest with respect to any matter to be considered by the board shall disclose the nature of the conflict, shall disqualify himself or herself from voting on the matter, and shall not be counted for purposes of establishing a quorum, and shall remove themselves from such portions of the meeting until such discussion of the matter is completed. Minutes shall be kept by all proceedings of the Board of Ethics, and the vote of each member on any issue decided by the board shall be recorded in the minutes. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon publication. Further, any ordinance in conflict with this ordinance be repealed by the extent of such conflict. Any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional, otherwise invalid. Such informality shall not affect the validity of maintaining the ordinance.
Is there pleasure on this ordinance?
Make a motion to set the second reading.
I second.
Mr. Young? Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House? Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
So have you had a chance to look over the resolution for North Main? Will you feel comfortable for us doing a reading?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a resolution authorizing the City of London to complete a fiscal year 2023 transportation alternative program application and to authorize Mayor Randall Little and successors entitled to sign all required documents related to the application, administration, and implementation of said project. Whereas the City of London proposes to construct new shared use sidewalks along US 25 North Main Street from London Elementary School to Chinook Drive in London, Kentucky, that will enable students and parents to walk safely to and from the school, the residents of Laurel Heights Nursing Home to use the walk as needed, and the citizens to use the walk in the north area of London. Whereas the City of London intends to make an application to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for assistance under the Transportation Alternatives Program. And whereas the Transportation Alternatives Program is limited to funding a maximum of 80% of proposed projects cost estimated at $5 million, and the City of London intends to submit an application in the amount of $4 million. And whereas the remaining balance for the proposed project of $5 million will be provided by the City of London. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of London will hold in reserves the estimated balance of $1 million for the purpose of matching the Transportation Alternatives Program assistance. And be it therefore resolved that Mayor Randall Little and successors entitled are hereby authorized to execute and submit applications through the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's Transportation's Alternative Program for the sidewalk construction project in London, and are hereby authorized that the city's official project representative to carry out necessary negotiations for and administer the assistance the applicant may obtain from the Transportation's Alternatives Program.
What's council's pleasure on this?
Make a motion to accept this resolution.
Second.
The roll call.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. House?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
I think we're getting down to the end here now. So, update regarding the hiring of the police chief and the clerk. We didn't,
Did you skip B?
No.
Oh, we've already covered that.
We've already covered that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's quite obvious with everything we've got going on here right now, hiring somebody full-time is gonna be hard. I think, you know, and it's not trying to cast any shade, but as impeachment and everything else that we've been through, who would want to work here? And now, you've got something gutting people's pay, so that's where we're at.
No, that's not all true. There's some pay will go up, some will fluctuate. I don't know that we're gutting everybody's pay. I think that's an overstatement, but anyway.
So the update for the Public Works building, Mr. Baker talked about that. We've got a commission, subcommittee set back up. You guys are gonna be handling that. The update on the London City Police Department's building, obviously, I don't know if you're aware or not aware, council had a subcommittee on that as well, working to, and then we have appointed some residents of London too to this. It's not been called in some time. It needs to get back together. We have $1 million we're holding that the state had gave to this building. We were going to be requesting another $3 million from the state to help build this building. But council just really needs to have a subcommittee meeting and get this fired back up.
Can I ask who's on?
Well, now there is there is no council member that I think everybody resigned or no longer is with us. Would any of you like to serve on the subcommittee?
Sir, if you want.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll serve on.
Would you like to put one more? Okay, we appreciate the two that's going on that, and then you guys can let us know when you wanna call a meeting for that, and, we'll let the residents know as well. The next thing we're gonna go into, council, do you mind that we call, before we get into public comments, just a 5-minute recess so we all can use the restroom? Yeah. We're gonna call a 5-minute recess. I do ask everybody to not be lashing out to council, and let's try to keep some respect in the chambers, please.
Brad, here's a check for you, and I was gonna see if you can open the envelope and save the 50 cents. I just saw it in the stack. How much is the stack? I just saw it in the stack.
We are going to come back into session now. The last portion of this is the public will make comments regarding anything on the agenda. You will have 2 minutes to speak. We don't want to abruptly cut you off, so you do have 2 minutes, so please try to stick to that 2 minutes. The first one is Brandon Buckner. If he'll come to the mic, the podium. please speak into the mic so everybody can hear you and the people at home.
Lieutenant Brandon Buckner, London Fire Department. So I can't talk about the CON, there's not enough time, 2 minutes, I won't touch it. You can come see me at the fire department, call me on the phone, I'll tell you whatever you wanna know about it. So earlier tonight, I can't remember who asked it, the question came up, how many lives have been lost because of it? We didn't have it. I don't know, I can't answer that. But what I can answer is, I know one that's been saved, and that's mine. I was hurt in the Huffman fire, 2 collapsed lungs. Anybody know what the first line treatment is for collapsed lung? No, oxygen? Well, one of your city firemen put that on me. One of your city policemen drove me to the hospital. It's nothing bad on the ambulance service, it's about the people. You know what happened if I didn't have that oxygen on within the 15, 18, 20 minutes, however long it was? It took the ambulance to get there. Do you know what happens if collapsed lungs go untreated without that oxygen? No, it's worse. Anybody know? You die, right? In that time frame, you die. So, all the talk about the CON, I mean, it's all a good thing. So, stand up, Brandon and Aubrey. Tell them I died because we couldn't put oxygen on somebody. Tell them, one of you, tell them. No? Well, how do you expect us to do that in real life when you can't do it when it's staged? The CON is a 100% good thing, and it is 100% needed. We're not running around, running wild. We're highly regulated by the Board of EMS. I mean, we're not just doing whatever y'all have been told or whatever. It is not like that.
Randy, you can see, can I get your phone number? Would you give me that number?
Yeah.
All right, then, we're gonna-
Thank you, Brandon.
Okay.
The next one is Katie Johnson. Katie, you'll have 2 minutes.
My name is Katie Johnson. I work in this city. I also am involved in with a nonprofit organization dedicated to help with the long-term recovery efforts for after the tornado. But that's not why I'm up here. I'm up here because it was requested on one of my comment streams that this be passed along to City Council. This is from a director of a nonprofit organization that dedicates their purpose to animal rescue and fostering animals, and basically just us animal lovers really appreciate them, we'll say that. And this is what the director says. I cannot be there tonight, but if someone can share this. We are a nonprofit whom one of our primary shelter partners is Laurel County, and we do events in London, including community engagements. We are also still distributing resources to people affected by the tornado. Due to the unethical action and unaccountability of the City Council and their associates, we would need to reevaluate our relationship with Laurel County, Kentucky Animal Shelter, and the City of London unless this ends and the City Council can work with Mayor Weddle. The community needs a local government willing to put the residents first, not their personal vendettas and agendas. And I don't know if this is allowed. I'm not saying anywhere that it's not, but I would like to donate the rest of my time to someone else.
So 15 seconds. Larry says he's donating his time to you, Leslie. No, Larry has 2 minutes and she's donated 15 seconds.
I just have one thing to say. I'm Leslie Foley. I think it's very disrespectful that we have to sit through 3.5 hours, 2.5, 3 hours worth of a meeting to listen to you all meander and say that he's lying, she's lying, this is all terrible, whenever you're doing the bad deeds in our city. $42,000 is what I've totaled so far that you have spent, saying the citizens want that spent when we don't. And here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you have your phones out while public comment is being made. That is ridiculous. And you still get paid with city taxpayer money. 1, 2, 3, I can see the glare in your glasses. They're on. It's not illegal, but it's disrespectful. You're disrespectful.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Foley. Next on the agenda is Johnny Miller.
My name is Johnny Miller. There's a million things that we could say about the way that you guys have been acting, the way that you guys have presented yourself, just the way that you try to argue whenever somebody tells you that it is disrespectful, like recording us at the last meeting. Judge, we got that from the open meetings request that we did last. Yeah, we appreciate that. You know, so yeah, so like I said, there's a million things that I could say, but I'm gonna make it really, really short. First thing I want to say is that anybody that would present an ordinance, resolution, whatever you want to call it, that makes it illegal for somebody to administer first aid, especially folks that have been trained to, it's evil. There's no other word for it. The last thing that I'm going to say is that for you to act like that you were surprised whenever it came out that Justin had been delivering dirt and doing all this illegally. For anybody that's curious about this, KRS 61.252. This is the statute that prohibits any city officer or employee from contracting with the city or city agency. And section 2 says that is a violation of this section is a Class A misdemeanor, and upon conviction, the court may void any contract entered into a violation of this section. Additionally, violation of this section shall be grounds for removal from office or employment in accordance with applicable provisions of law. So, once again, you've been given something that I would absolutely not expect you to act upon. But anybody that's really curious, look up that KRS. It's all out there. Open records request. You can get every bit of this and see exactly what's happening.
Thank you. Next is Jordan Bernard.
My name is Jordan Bernard. I'm the local president for London Professional Firefighters 5534. And honestly, tonight, I'm pretty shocked. I have some questions regarding the pay scale that we went over, and I would like to know how that is going to affect our staffing at the department level. Can anybody answer that? If you want to know. That's fine. Well, it's clear that it's going to reduce our staffing. I just, and to kind of reflect on what Lieutenant Buckner said, I would like to know how any of you are going to be able to answer my family or anybody on the department's family, not even from a medical aspect, but just from responding to the fire incidents that we respond to, how you're going to be able to tell my family or their families that you're okay with me coming home in a box draped under an American flag because you would like to reduce our department numbers. And then furthermore, I would like to know how you're going to answer that same question to the public by reducing the size of the fire department that is paid and staffed to respond to their fire and rescue them out of that fire. I honestly, I think you as the public should be absolutely outraged by that. My profession and the profession that me and my coworkers have is one of the last good things in this world, and I'm proud of that. And for you all to do something that evil with the things that you were proposing with zero reason financially, I can't see how that's anything other than retaliatory against us for our support of our mayor who has supported us. It's despicable.
Thank you, Jordan. We have Mrs. Grinch.
That's me. And you know who I am. I would just like to ask this council, how can you justify cutting all the city departments, all the employees that work and make a difference, and you all draw your salary and your benefits and don't make a difference?
Grace Gilbert.
I spoke before, and I have a business on 25. Kelly's been there, good customer, through the years. The other day, there was 2 incidents. I've been sick. 2 police officer vehicles, MT SUV, a rescue squad vehicle, and a tanker, fire department truck, flew by South 25. I'm right on the corner of 25 and Armory Street. We stood there and watched. It was probably 10, 12 minutes or more before we saw an ambulance go by. Now that happened twice that day, because a lot of times we watch them and it's just like Kate Bar, they're gone. So I don't understand. I saw it myself after hearing about this new thing that the fire department was getting. And another question, these fire department people are there. And if there's not a fire or anything, a lot of them are paid, right? Okay, you're there. Wow, is it going to be extra money that if you go out and take care of these wrecks, or when you're at a fire, you drag somebody out of the house? So what was it with the money, saying that it was going to cost all this money? And I'm just trying to learn, Okay, I understand it's not a question and an answer, but really? How many minutes did I get later?
You got about a second left.
Can I get her time? Because maybe one of them will have a backbone to answer. I don't understand this, and I don't live in the city, but I have a business. And I have a stake in it.
Thank you very much.
They don't care.
Thank you.
Well, I got another question, but it ain't question and answer, so I guess.
Thank you. Jamie Salone.
Oh, somebody asked about the ethic board. Yeah. Let's see, we've got an ethic board, and if they can get an ethic board so we can put you all to the test.
Jamie, you have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
My name is Jamie Sloan. I'm currently the intel analyst for the London Police Department. And what I've heard tonight is basically that you are going to be cutting our pay, a lot of us, around Christmas time or whenever that happens. And I don't understand that. That does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Can you tell me why that is?
We explained how this is
Do what, sir?
We explained a lot of this in the meeting. And
Well, I heard it,
This is
but-
not final per se.
Well, I understand that, but it's the thought that counts, in good and bad. And I'm here to stand up for my brothers and sisters in the city and the police department. It's not right. We work our guts out.
We don't say that, you know. We know-
Well,
we know-
I don't think my position's gonna be in the new thing, so, I mean, that's not good. Nobody says nothing, just looks at me, I don't get it.
There's more to it. And these-
Is there more to it?
A lot of these positions were created without our knowledge, without any allowance.
Okay, what I heard tonight, honestly, was that we made too much money and you're taking it from us, because we don't deserve it, and these guys deserve
It's
it.
not right. It's not right at all.
Well,
You have
yeah.
children- you have children.
Yes, I do.
And I know you.
I do.
And if they come to you and say, Dad, I want something for $100 and you got 50, what do you do?
Do the best I can, but we have plenty of money, do we not?
That's what we have been told.
Right.
But we don't know. We're waiting on an audit. The transparency ordinance that we put in place will give us more information that we need to be able to be more precise. But to this point, we've not got that information. We've tried to get that information. And we have tried and tried and tried. And we've got pieces, bits and pieces here and there and so.
Well, I'm here for my brothers and sisters,
We are,
because it ain't
we're here
right.
for you too, whether you understand.
It doesn't look like it to me, and I do understand,
I'm sure
trust
it
me.
doesn't at the moment, but we are here for you. I've always fought for you every time that I was.
No, you're not.
I don't see that.
And the cart's been put before the horse, and we have to make sure that we're not overextending. And there's more jobs that have been created, than necessary is the way I see it.
So it's only
Well,
question and answer. If it's a
that's not the way that I
question,
see it. We're working ourselves to death anymore, so.
Thank you, your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, HR Director for the city. On your pay classification scale, you have two positions for rescue other than part-time. One is a captain, one is support. Both of those are volunteer positions, just so you know. But what you did manage to do is fire the rescue chief for 38 years of service, because he's not on this pay classification. And according to E on your pay scale, he can't be, because the pay classification for that doesn't exist. Also with the assistant rescue chief, so that's 38 years. I don't even have to bring up the tornado, but it is fresh in this community's mind what that man has done. The other part is firing of employees. I don't have time while I'm sitting over there to go over the numbers, but the numbers I did go over was you guys have 86 full-time positions and 15 part-time on your pay classification. We currently have 139 active, which means you're firing 38 people. 38 votes and Justin wouldn't even be sitting there. You guys are firing 38 people. 27% of the workforce you're firing. Coincidentally, cart before the horse, that wasn't done right, the IT department. Eric Stallard is one of those positions that you're firing. You didn't put the cart before the horse there because you weren't part of it. The IT department was approved, 2 budgets approved with the IT department, now he's gone. And coincidentally, and I asked him if I could bring this up, he signed the hostile work environment, but now he's gone. After being approved by council, after having 2 budgets with him approved, he's gone. The other part I want to bring up is part-time firefighters. You know they can't even cover one shift because they can't work over 25 hours in a week. A shift is 48 hours. So now you're crippling our fire department that way as well. 6 months jail time for BLS. So on the budget, item K, says there are restrictions in paragraphs. Yep. I'm sure the public doesn't want to hear about you sending people to jail for doing BLS. I'll post it, they'll see it. So that will be
So this will conclude the public comment section of the agenda. Hey, let's hold the quorum. Let's hold the quorum. Let's hold the what we can't. Walk them out. Walk them out, terroristic threats. I wasn't watching it. Because he says we're not ready next week. Did you not read it? So, that concludes the comments. First of all, let me make something plain here. They have the powers to pass all of this. That's a fact. What you're looking at tonight, the KRS gives them that ability. There's somebody over them though. It's our legislators, senators, state reps. If you're sick of this, and you never want this happening in our city, a new session is fixing to start in January. Contact them, tell them we want in January the laws changed. But, I'm putting them on notice. If you think you want to pass this agenda, these people that serve this city are fine people. We are going to fight you to the highest court. This meeting is adjourned.